Should be good to go.
Oh, nice. Like a little wooden background now. That's cool.
Yeah, and edited a few other things, and then we got the screen now.
All right.
And then we actually have this screen now, which I gotta adjust that one on the right. So a few other things, a few little.
Oh, you know what I
things.
need to do here? Hang on a second. I need to. Well, it should be correct. Let's see what happens.
That's fancy.
Oh, so fancy. So fancy.
Okay, that's correct. And do I have your token set up correctly, Nate?
I don't know.
Yeah, it looks like I do.
I couldn't decide if I wanted to do wood or stone, so we'll try wood one week and we'll try stone the next, and we'll see what happens.
All righty.
Just to
Okay.
give you an idea, this is what the stone looks like. Background, so let's see what you guys. That's the wood, and then hold on, I'll change to the stone here in a second.
We've got wood.
And
I like
that's the
both.
stone. Kind of surprise every once in a while. So.
All right. The group of you have stumbled into what looks like a chamber just absolutely filled with coins. There's like a large tapestry that's been kind of thrown over a statue. There's like a small carved box with like gold inlay and looks like maybe some sort of precious stone alternating in like what you think is like a game set. If you look at that, it looks like it may be like some sort of a chess set, and it folds open and you see light and dark colored jade pieces around one of the statues. Very, very ancient statue, almost just so worn with age, or maybe the stone is kind of crumbled, like some sort of weak stone that just didn't really hold its shape well. But it's got a silver necklace with a sapphire pendant kind of resting around that. Another one has like a thick gold torque around its neck, somewhat flexible, or at least bendable. I shouldn't say flexible, but just kind of bendable because it's soft gold. And what it looks like is that when you bend it on into place, it's like a dragon eating its own tail.
Cool.
There's a brass mug with turquoise inlay, scattered gems, copper, silver, gold, and platinum, just all over the room.
I'm trying to remember if I had the tech
Jackpot.
magic on a mirror.
What
There
Rundar
is
doing?
Scooping
there
them
is
up.
a
Check for traps.
there is a heavy oak-bound door, banded in iron, that is closed. Double doors, in fact. Kind of turning. What's also interesting about the door is that the wood looks so old that you think it might have petrified somehow. Like it's, just kind of looking at it, it looks like wood, but it really doesn't seem to be wood anymore. There's another door, a single door in an archway with a set of stairs going down, and there are braziers down below.
So the door's open or the door's closed?
This door
I don't
is
see a
open.
map.
Did I not move to that? Oh, yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Scroll down.
So
Scroll down.
open. This one is closed.
There we go.
There it is.
I meant to try to move your map, but I hit the wrong hotkey.
There
Yeah,
it is.
this is a double door that is closed. Like I said, the wood, or at least it looks like wood, doesn't really seem like wood. Like when you knock on it, it sounds more like stone. This here is open, and with a set of stairs going down.
We should probably take like a short rest while we're here. Kind of take
No,
some
we should take a
inventory.
long. We kind of
Just
need to take a long rest because we need to recover some spells.
we can spend all day in the treasure chamber.
I mean, we're
Grimgar
probably
immediately lays
But
down.
what's
Just gonna pile it
what's
up,
the
make a pillow
time?
out of it.
Yeah.
About what time is it, Tony?
Let's see. You went in probably
in
a
the
little before
morning.
midday. Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
late morning. It's probably been a couple of hours by this point.
So starting to get into the afternoon.
Well, no, I mean it's been a long. Okay, so it feels like that, but it's probably only been an hour. So it's probably noon, midday.
Uh,
Well, I
You
mean,
really can't do a long rest right now. You all slept last night.
we could do a short rest though.
Sure.
We have hit dice.
Yeah. Do what we can, right?
Short rest helps me real good.
Okay, so you sit around and
Real good.
you pile up the treasures. Here's what you find. All right.
Yeah, we'll probably spend the
I'm
hour
waiting.
looking around.
I'm waiting for Tyler to grab the pencil.
I got it.
All right. You sort out roughly 700 copper pieces. You're thankful that the majority of this is not copper. There's around 7,000 silver coins,
Okay.
2,900 gold pieces,
Okay.
29,000.
2,900,
Oh.
2,900. Yeah,
Oh,
no. Yeah. 105 platinum pieces. And you are able to sort out roughly 10 gems. They're not like super high quality and they vary a bit. Trying to think like who would have the right skill. Probably a rogue. You guys don't really have a rogue.
Oh, to appraise them.
Oh no,
Yeah.
Let me
I
see
know
those.
I know my gems.
Yeah, you're right. You're a bard. You could roll in any situation, can't you? Let's see. What would that be? Probably. Yeah, you know what? You know they're not high quality gems. They're probably worth maybe 50 gold a piece.
Cool.
The sapphire that's in that silver necklace probably worth about double any one of those gems, but the silver necklace itself adds to its value. You figure that silver necklace is probably worth around 250. The large tapestry also around that same value.
What's on the
It's,
tapestry?
Okay, so it looks like it must have come from maybe a nobleman's house, and it shows a battle. You think perhaps from, well, roll a history check.
Do.
Okay, hang on. Okay, so this is kind of interesting actually. You are fairly certain when you look at it that it depicts the Battle of Emerdy Meadows, which would have been not that long ago at all. In fact, this is what 583. That would have been 14 years ago. And in the background, what's kind of freakish about it is that is the Temple of Elemental Evil.
Do we know where that battle took place? By any chance? Oh, obviously Emerdy Meadows, right? But do we know where that is?
Yeah. Somewhere beyond Furiandi and Valuna. So it's probably, it's beyond Keeland, but not by far.
Okay. So to the east.
To the east, yes.
It's by Hamlet.
Cool. Oh yeah, that's really cool. I'm gonna say I want that. Dibs.
The chess set with the jade pieces
Also, dibs.
Also worth about that much, maybe 250 for the entire set. So like basically it folds out. It's like mahogany wood. It's got gold. Basically it's kind of been poured in almost like lead to kind of hold the pieces together. And then each square is like a light and dark piece of jade to alternating on the board. And then you've got a complete set of light and dark jade chess pieces.
It's really cool. Dibs. I will
No,
play
Grandar's
anyone.
like, hang on a second.
That's
will-
mine. That's
I've
mine.
seen one of these
That's
before.
mine.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't mind if he takes all these things. He's just gonna their gold amount. He's gonna be putting that back into party loot.
The accountant.
That's right. Amir
The-
told you.
I will play anyone in Dragon Chess for it.
So,
Grandar
are we
picks
allowed
up
to use?
No.
the king, and he's like, no, this is a powerful artifact.
The
How does stone
gold.
cutting work?
Yes, sir.
How does it work? Generally
Yeah.
speaking, it's helpful to you like when you're trying to find traps and secret doors when you're underground. So like this sort of environment absolutely applies.
Okay, so I should use stone cutting here.
Yeah. Okay. You take a closer look at those double doors. They're not doors at all. They're made to look like doors, but they're not.
Oh, they're just pretty.
Make a religion check. This is styled as a gateway to the realm of Nerol, the Reaper.
Hmm.
I don't fear that way.
Right.
All right,
What
so the
What
golden
happened?
torque.
Yeah, the golden torque's worth about the same. The dragon
Okay.
eating its own tail, as well as the brass mug. The brass mug is the turquoise inlay is there's a lot of it, and and it's well done. And you would also believe that the value is right around the same, 250. Did we lose Nate?
He's
I
on
think
the
somebody
phone
came
call.
up and yeah.
Oh, okay.
Let me roll some hit dice here. Oh, a little better. Back to full.
We can spend as many as we want, right?
Up to your
Up to
to
our
4.
level.
yeah,
Yeah,
before,
okay.
assuming you haven't used them previously.
Right.
Hey, you maxed out on that one, Amir.
Yeah.
It's first times for everything.
1 second here.
So
But
I'm gonna kind of take a seat on one of these chests of gold
Oh,
and say, what's the plan? Are we going through these doors, or is that not the way to go? Or
Which doors?
I don't know. I'm gonna point to the doors that you're standing in front of and looking at, because to me they look like doors.
These aren't doors. This is
Oh.
this is a depiction carved into the stone. This represents the path to Nerul, or the god of death, and I expound upon this and make it sound all kind of religiously.
religious
Religiously.
I'm changing my guard unit.
So what? So I'm gonna kind of take a piece of gold and throw it at the doors.
They bounce off.
I mean, they're just carvings.
I was just not that I don't trust them.
Grandar's like, did you want to open those?
So
Balner, before your spell finally wears off, you detect through those doors and further, down, evil.
through the doors that don't exist.
No, through
No, once-
these doors.
Yeah, we don't want to go. I really recommend we don't go that way until we have rested and secured our holdings here. Plus, we have a woman who is waiting for word upon her child.
Well,
Of which we have none.
Well,
If that was her child.
about to say if that was her child and she wasn't setting us up, because if not, she's gonna get thrown in a dungeon.
Did
I'll assume
I mean, Fungin, because I don't believe in
Did-
dungeons.
right, did anybody actually have medicine as a skill? You know, I know you do, Ryan. You always have a skill, but
I have all skills, sir.
He has
all
half a
skills.
skill if he doesn't have it.
right.
Half a skill, sir.
medicine, no, but I have spells to like stabilize things and keep them
Yeah.
from turning undead and all that stuff.
Right. But your knowledge of like anatomy and how to staunch bleeding, aside from calling down your god, not the greatest.
Correct.
Okay, just that's important for my question. So,
I mean, I'm
okay.
sure I probably took a health and anatomy class in college, maybe.
All right,
That's the
so
extent of my knowledge. Yeah, I say we collect the loot and try and find a way out, or put
Okay.
like a flag and say, have people come capture this. I mean, can we even carry all this?
let me determine that, because
I mean,
generally
it's
speaking,
it's going to be pretty heavy. There's a lot of stuff here.
Look, we'll just get the essentials: the gold, the valuable pieces,
Where's
all
Beth?
the magic items,
Where's Beth
that
when
big
I need him?
tapestry.
50. You're looking at probably everything that's in there is probably 250 pounds of
Oh,
stuff.
it's
That's
not nearly as heavy as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, that's not
And
bad.
there's boxes and chests, that you can use to kind of help haul all that crap out of there. Sure enough.
I'm gonna
Hey,
get
what
about
the. I'm gonna go for the
Let's.
like roll up the
Nate.
tapestry.
Okay, Nate, you I didn't see you roll hit dice. Everybody else has done so for taking the hour.
okay. Let me do that.
Grundar.
I didn't roll either, so.
Oh, okay.
I took off.
Grundar, do you, while you're sitting there, do you
Yeah.
take that time to
Mm-hmm.
attune? Okay, give me a second.
Oh, to the
Right.
new sword.
Snaga. Isn't that what it was called?
No, it's his X, new X.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's called Snaga.
Does
I
anybody
don't
actually
know
play
what
Dragon
like-
Chess?
No.
This is like chess, but
I don't
With dragon.
actually know. I was more just asking in character. Does anybody actually play Dragon Chess?
Oh.
If so, I challenge you to a duel.
All right, so how do I know what my
No,
hit
thank
dice
you.
is?
Duel.
Oh, never mind, I see it.
Get back to 11.
I am back to full health
Grundar still thinks they're artifacts.
after an hour.
This, you can control a king with this. Look at the shape of it. I bet if I
Okay.
poke its eyes.
You so something interesting happens, Grundar. You sit down with this double-bladed axe with a black wood handle, wrapped in some sort of leather, has a butt spike on it, and runes running down the mid portion of it. And you don't immediately know what they mean, but as you spend time kind of meditating and just trying to, figure out how to mentally speak to this thing, because you've heard it talk out loud. You're kind of whispering under your breath at it as you're trying to figure out how it works, and eventually you hear in your head a voice. You think it's a manly voice, but you're not really certain per se, because it seems like it's emanating from within your own head. And it says, "I am here. I am Snaga."
That's cute.
You're
Snoo.
aware.
What's that?
I'm like, you are aware. And then I open my eyes and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, you don't see anybody standing there. The voice sounded like it was coming from within your own head. And you hear it say, almost like kind of wickedly yet proudly, "I am Snaga, the sender. And and when I slay, there is no return."
Sounds good to me.
You feel you feel like power rolling through you in waves the likes of which you've never felt. But one thing is interesting. That voice, it's like a presence in your mind. It's like always whispering to you, always there. And you have this strange feeling that if you relaxed too much, that it might try to step in and take over.
It's just like living with the orcs again.
So anyway, I've updated the item for you. You can make the adjustments.
It
Since I
sounds
would have
like
been
it.
able to detect it,
All right.
because I'm sure I would have
There-
noticed that there was something evil still next to us.
So a couple things. Yes. Who picked up the ring from the drow elf?
I think
So,
that was Grandar,
Amir did.
too.
Strong evil emanating from Emir's pouch. I'm assuming you didn't put it on your finger.
No, has skulls on it.
Yeah. And then there is like in the room with you, there's just a light taint of evil. Like it makes itself known to you by like this just mild smell of brimstone. But you haven't been able to like find the origin of it. But then again, this entire place has been infested with undead.
All right. Yeah, so I recommend we take our haul, report back to the mother, and then we come back and after a good rest and properly cleanse this place.
Yep.
If the door is open.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's assuming that's even the right door, right?
So you use the boxes and everything else around here to get all of the hall put together, right? And then I'm not going to make you go back there, but you go back to the doors that you came in from.
Gonna attempt to, yes.
Okay, you get there, no problem,
The door's open.
unmolested by anyone there, but the doors are closed.
Great.
Can we try
Are
and
they, are they
force them
wooden?
open?
No, stone door.
Big
Can we try and
stone
force them
mausoleum
open
doors.
somehow?
Sure. I mean, you can make an athletics test. Like assuming you and Grundar are both working on it, then you can do so with help and then gain advantage.
All right, I'm
Can we
gonna
use
do
stone
it.
cutting on the door
You
to
help me out, Grundar, and if I have to, I'll use my little inspiration thing that I got still.
Don't worry,
No,
guys.
no.
I'll help also.
So
Can
it's
we first-
athletics.
Yeah. Okay, you and Grundar with Leonin behind you are like, come on, boys, you can do it, you can do it. I mean, you put an amazing effort into it. The two of you are straining, sweating. You think you're going to pop a blood vessel. That doesn't budge them. It doesn't budge at all. Nothing. Now, what were you going to say, Jason?
I kick my
Can I
feet
use
at the door.
stone cutting?
God damn it.
Can I use stone cutting to evaluate the room? If maybe there's a button or something that will open the door.
Yes, make a history check with advantage.
Yeah, and we do it all in silence.
Right.
Right?
You're all like, ah. Nothing, no sound at all. Okay, here's what you're able to determine about the door. There's no obvious hinge on this side, and you believe that they're double doors, were intended to be open and closed from the outside and also locked from the outside. Now, do you share this with the group? Like, step away from the door?
Yeah.
Okay. So with that, Amir, you're able to deduce that this was clearly built as a prison for something, right? You've got this, this hallow spell that was cast. You have no idea how long ago it was cast. It can last generations, right? It can last thousands of years.
Right.
So something, you know, the Restless Dead replaced here, and then this hallow spell was put in place, probably to keep them away from the entry, and then the doors were shut from the outside.
Can I roll a history check, seeing how this is my city, if I could think of anything that might have been buried underneath here?
Sure. As Mike Merles would say, you can certainly try.
Can I use religion maybe? I don't know.
Well, here's the dealio. If I could gain a level, I could figure out what's underneath here in about 2 seconds.
Which for that we'd have to do a long rest.
Yeah.
Which you can't do in here.
Well, not for a while anyway.
I don't have it. Would I have advantage seeing how this is my city?
No, not for this.
Might try. It's worth a try.
You go back to what you could remember of the cemetery of Palor, and you know that the cemetery of Palor was built by it was built within the time that the Duchy of Jeff had been founded, but Hawkok was built upon something much older than that. Some other. It actually means human home. It's an old Flanish name for human home. It's like nearby there's a settlement called Hakolv, which means elf home.
Yeah.
And it's been here for a while. You kind of get to thinking that having seen the runes, and I'm assuming, Amir, you've kind of shared this detail. They were Urflan, and this dude, dead dude with a bow that was shooting at you guys was speaking Urflan, really, really ancient shit. That this is probably tied to some ancient Flanish burial ground that probably even predates Hawkok.
Okay. And there's nothing. There's no like glyphs or anything else along the wall. Kind of like so. What I'd be looking for is you've seen the Lord of the Rings, the very first one, the door to the Mines of Moria.
Sure.
That's kind of what I'd be looking for.
There's nothing on the inside, no.
Okay.
No. Now down where the treasure room was, there were more of those Urflan glyphs around what looked like a wooden door, but in fact, even though you guys couldn't read them, because I'm assuming your comprehend languages, you would have to recast.
Yeah, it ran out long ago, and sorcerers can't ritual cast, unfortunately.
Yeah, the best you could really do is with that, because it had runes around it. Balnor was able to determine that he could see symbols of Nerul, the death god. So, what exactly they mean, you don't know, but it looks like that closed door was created as a depiction to like maybe a doorway to the underworld.
Okay, so I guess.
Yeah, you get back half of what you spent, half of what you shot.
To be honest, guys, I'm not really liking this. I'm gonna step out of the sphere of silence.
Okay.
And say, guys, I'm not really. If this was a prison meant to keep something in, and if we keep going, like
we should find something powerful. We should keep going down there. Fight it.
Well, maybe we should clear the other way passage here.
Yeah, I was thinking we go south. We head down that way. I'm gonna point down to where all the skeletons came from.
Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna make you roll through there. You end up discovering. Well, I'll fine. Here, I'll move you down there just because.
That means I gotta move the map.
No, it's all right. Yeah, you will. Hang on a second. I'm gonna move you as a group.
Whoop.
So you guys go all the way back to the, you've been to the entryway. You tried opening, it didn't work. You go straight south. You pass the body of the drow elf. Go further south through a hall. Now, one thing you see here is, just moving you up here for a second, up to this room. There is 4 suits of very ornate looking, like black enameled plate armor.
Whoa. Can somebody tell me if these things are cursed? If not, I want to see if one fits me.
There are actual skeletons inside of them, but the helmets are off. Each one's holding like a ceremonial looking weapon, although you think they probably, would be serviceable. One has a great sword, another one has a sword and shield, one has a great axe, and the last has another sword.
We were just talking about getting
I wonder
bonus and
why
full plate.
Yes, I
Well,
got blacksmith and tools as
I
a
wonder why these
tool
didn't reanimate.
proficiency.
Well, let's be thankful that they didn't.
Or maybe they have, and they're just waiting on us.
Those sneaky skeletons.
Can I?
It's like as you look at them, the empty sockets seem to follow you. Not really, but
Gundar punches one in the face.
do you?
Hmm?
It collapses. All the leather bindings between the plates, they've all long since rotted, and it just falls.
Anybody want some plate
They're
armor?
so weak.
Yeah.
It is all human-sized plate. It would require some significant rework to get it serviceable again, but they all appear to be, about equal-sized, human-sized plate armor.
We're taking them.
I'm not taking them all. I mean, you can
Why?
take one.
We can sell the others. Those are expensive.
But my point was, let me bring you back down here for a second. This appeared to be some sort of an ossuary, and it's just filled with bones.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't actually go in there. Could you put me up a little bit?
Of course, you stand at the edge of the area like, ooh, that looks disgusting.
Yes, that's exactly what I do.
Oops. I didn't really mean to do that with advantage, but just keeping my eyes open.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Where you are here, the sense. Well, of course. What level do you cast the? Was it called Detect Good and Evil? Are you able to cast it again, or are you just kind of mainly paying attention?
Mainly just paying attention.
Okay. All right. Yeah. After Callanan treads back out, you're kind of standing there. Some bones shift, and everybody like raises weapons up. Nothing happens. It was just gravity.
All right. Well, I guess we only have one way, guys.
What about that way that's left from the main entrance?
There's nothing that way. I already checked.
When did you go check that?
Actually, I didn't go check it. I heard some zombies saying that there wasn't a way out that way, so...
So there's still some zombies there that we should probably kill.
Yeah, but they probably died from the after we killed the chick, I guess.
We should go check.
We could go check.
Come on.
After you, Grundar.
I'm waiting for everybody.
Dwarves first.
Kick the drow off on the way by.
The blue. Is she still blue?
Yeah,
She's blue for 10 days.
that's right. Even her corpse is blue.
Where did Elner go?
Up to the left.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
he leading the way?
Yep.
There he is.
Hang on, I'm sorry. I'm working 2 screens here. I actually smartened up, and I have the Roll20 that I use on a separate laptop now. Less laggy.
Oh,
There you
nice.
go.
All right. So nothing in the crypt.
No, The crypt has it's been opened way down here. The lid has moved, and there is some ancient bits of scroll in there,
Ooh.
but it's long since sort of fallen to near dust.
Doors anywhere? Anything like that? Any trap doors?
I want to check for a secret door right here.
Yeah, that seems like a good call. I'll help. I
Okay.
will assist him.
And I will cast stone cutting again, or well, use it again.
You can use stone cutting again. It ended up being as a history check. No, sorry, it's not a
Right.
history. It's a perception test that you gain advantage for stonework secret doors.
Okay.
Oh well, then let Balner do it.
Yeah, I was supposed to say Boner ought to have this.
All right. So. Do-do-do.
No secret doors that you can find.
Hmm.
I didn't roll that twice. All right.
Well, looks like through the scary door is the only way out of here. Awesome.
You may just move you back there.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Hang on a
You might
second.
wanna just- Anyone here not at full health?
Anybody
Yeah,
here
full
have
health.
spells left?
Oh yeah,
Me,
but
but
I
only by
don't.
like
But
4.
I've got a few left, but I can't cast many more. And
Oh
so
yeah,
I'd
I
like
have
to-
I have one. I have 2 left. No, 2 left. 2 first levels
Oh,
left.
I'm tapped
And 1
completely.
inspiration.
No more spell slot levels.
I'm like
Grindar says, wait,
completely
wait.
refreshed.
wait.
How many crossbow bolts
Wait.
did I recover?
There's a good question. He said
Crossbow
half.
bolts?
He said
Oh,
half.
okay.
You recovered half of what you shot, is what he said.
All right.
Grundar. Well,
How
anyway,
many?
we should go back to the entrance. Trust me.
How many javelins do you get to start out with?
I think
Let me make
3.
sure. 3.
I think
Depends on what you are. Paladins start with 5, I think.
Ooh,
Are you gonna try and like
paladins.
Hulk smash the door? Is that what you're gonna do, Grundar?
Maybe. We should go back to the entrance. You should trust me on
We
this.
just went there.
So we're gonna open up the
I
exit.
just remembered something. Just trust me.
Okay, well, I'm not going to move you. Just if you follow him back to the entrance, fine. Okay.
Okay.
Grundar takes out his pants.
What? Okay.
And he goes to the door, like the crypt door, right? To the entrance, to the the exit.
Mm-hmm.
He takes the black and he goes, and then he sticks his hand through it. What happens?
You do that. And you guys are amazed. You're like, what the hell is what? And then he does this. And actually, you have to mix together a couple of paints to get a nice deep black, right? You do that, and you see Grundar put his hand through the wall. Now,
And then I just walk through.
you feel as you get your hand through the wall, like your hand brushes something, and it takes you a moment to realize it's like maybe some tall grasses or some weeds or something like that.
I step through. Can I like?
Grundar the magician.
You go through. Okay. You come out the other side. You tumble out from because you just made it right in the middle of the doorway. You just tumble out into the grass. You've been underground for a while, and it's just cold underground, and immediately you're hit by spring sunlight, and you're like, instantly warms you.
I'm gonna stand outside the thing of silence and talk to Amir. Be like, what the fuck just happened?
You landed in a pile of peonies.
Okay. I brush myself and I stick my head back through the hole and I go, ta-da!
Well, he says something, but you don't know. Well,
Right.
yeah, you think, Amir, that he's like, ta-da! But yeah.
Okay. I kind of look at Leon and say, well, if you remember, he did get those paints from Romney. I did not know they would do that, though. Very interesting.
Remind me to never tell Grundar how smart I actually think he is. Because that was brilliant.
He has his moments.
That was brilliant.
I'll go. Can I stick my hand through the door?
You got to draw from the deck, Mason.
All right.
Yeah, you walk up to it.
I want to low key
Goes right through.
give him a slow clap on that.
After you get your hand to the elbow, you feel warmth on your fingers.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and go through.
All right, you come out into bright sunlight.
Are we in the cemetery?
You are in the cemetery.
Okay, that was my first question.
You've had too many mean DMs, I can tell.
Okay, so I'll just stick my arm back through and then just kind of make a come on motion.
As soon as he does the come on motion, I'm grabbing his hand, and I'm going through.
You pull in
Hold
and out
my
like you just birthed a baby elephant.
That scene in Ace Ventura.
Chris, now, Balner and Killian, you're the only two left in the crypt, and you look around at all these piles of treasure that have been left behind.
What?
Yeah.
No, wait, I thought we boxed that up, and I was carrying it.
Start pushing it through the hole.
Yeah.
Amir will
Actually, I'll
realize
just
that it's.
start grabbing it and tossing it through the hole as hard as I can. Hopefully, it hits someone on the other side.
I'm just gonna put my hands through, like this.
All right, so you start passing treasure out.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a daisy chain.
I can't really do anything with my little noodle arms. I'm not strong.
Not strong either,
Okay.
but.
I mean, you said it was like 260 pounds of loot. What is Gurndar carrying with the other arm?
Amir, you're helping to pass stuff out,
Exact.
and
Yeah.
you think way on the other side of the cemetery. This is a big cemetery inside of Hawkok. That you're in the oldest portion of it. Well, I shouldn't even say on the other side of it. Like you're probably maybe 120 feet from the church proper. And you're on the back side of the church. Okay, the church, you don't walk through the cemetery to go to the church, right?
Right.
And there's not a lot of traffic through here, especially in the middle of the day. And you thought you saw somebody out of the corner of your eye, and you look and they're gone, but right at the corner of the church, probably 120 feet away.
All right. I'll let Leon know that I think I saw somebody, but I won't go straight at it. I'll kind of take a kind of a wide approach to it so I can see around the corner.
Okay. Balner, before you go through, you go back to that crypt and you gather up the remains that you're able to. Make take a look at this here. Hang on a second.
Perception check.
Not exactly. Make a wisdom check. Just roll a wisdom check.
Make a death saving throw.
Death saving throw. That's right. Okay. All right. You gather
That
up.
seems like the greatest idea ever.
The problem you have, Balner, is that you take your cloak off and you lay it out and you start taking pieces because this body has literally been dismembered. And you can't really tell much about the corpse at this point. The face, like the soft fleshy bits, have been chewed away, and it's pretty. Yeah, and the hair has been matted with blood and gore, and thrown in with the entrails. So you gather up what you can and just kind of put it in the, in your cloak. Even then, it's kind of dripping, and you pass it through also on your way out.
All right.
Okay, you guys are all outside now.
not grabbing that one.
Balner holds it through. Nobody takes it.
Be like,
Then I step through.
Okay. All right. You guys are out. You're in the sunshine outside of this really ancient mausoleum sort of deal. Looking at it now, Amir, you've been kind of studying the area. It definitely, the runes on it have almost faded into non-existence on the outside. And it has, it looks a lot older than everything around it, just based on the weathering of the stone. So, you're outside now. So you have moved, sorry, Amir, you've moved off, and by the time you kind of clear the edge and can kind of see down the long end of the church, whoever it was is gone.
And I'm assuming that Lucy is nowhere in sight.
No.
Gentlemen, I believe we've been had. I think it was a setup from the beginning.
Okay, so Balner, you kind of lay it open again to do that, or okay, all right. Anybody else examine what's there?
I will.
Grundar
I just
wants
wanna-
to. Oh, sorry. I want to use my survival skill to try and maybe track that person that just, ran off. So
Okay, yeah, you can make that roll.
he's really, I'm really pissed.
Is everybody like? What are we doing? I mean, is the group splitting up here, or what are they? What are you guys
Just
doing?
like, I don't want to go too far. Just see if I can get a lead on the footprints or something,
Okay.
Oh,
No.
I think I
there's
found
been a
some
lot of
footprints.
Well, but when you look at it more closely, the way that the roof slopes, you think that the rainwater is just kind of beating a path along the
Right.
side, and you can't really get anything good off of it.
I was following my own
could I
footprints.
assist him in this since I'm not looking at the body?
Yeah, you can make another roll. Sure. Well, no,
Okay.
yeah, I suppose you could assist.
I'm
could.
half good at everything, man.
Yeah, that's true. You probably can help, things like that. So make another one, and we'll take the better of the two. Nope.
It's better.
It's like I said.
Wait, these aren't my footprints. These are your footprints. God damn it.
No, those are your footprints.
Don't start that.
You did this. You killed a little kid. All right. So
Meanwhile,
Amir,
me and Balner are actually looking at the body.
what's your passive investigation? I don't have it handy.
I think it's 19.
Okay. All right. So here's the deal, Amir. He's praying over the body, and you're looking at the body, and you're like, the hair could be the same length. This is not a child. Like you're actually like you're trying, because he's in the middle of praying. You don't want to mess with it. You're trying not to like rearrange the body parts, but you're like, this isn't a child. It's actually a young woman.
Well, shit.
And you recognize, you think from the facial characteristics and the hair, even though it's matted, that the woman you saw is this woman.
You won't know.
Damn.
So would Amir know about doppelgangers or anything like that?
Well,
Like,
I mean,
would he have any idea?
yeah. Well, look, I mean, you would know that there are a variety of ways that somebody could look like somebody else. Yeah, you know that.
Something very evil is loose in the city, and it has a grudge against us, or one of us. But I'll let Balner finish praying over the body though, because even though Amir doesn't have any truck with any of the gods, he's respectful of other people that do.
All right.
I'm going to.
Well, you have to realize
Oh,
Balner's
sorry.
first job was as a grave digger, so he takes that serious.
That's fair. I'd like to actually separate for a second, but not actually separate. I'd like to take the tapestry and trial separation.
Where's Dad going?
We're having a divorce. I'll take Grundar.
Oh,
You can have
God.
Amir.
And this is called Why Daddy Lives with Candy with an I.
But he's got a bitchin' new car though.
Got a great looking apartment too.
Oh, my God.
Man.
Wow.
So you're taking the tapestry?
Yeah, I'm gonna take I'm gonna say, can you guys get all this back to the inn? Okay, I'm gonna make a quick errand. I'll meet you
Well,
guys
let's
there
stop
in
at
just a minute.
I messed up at the church and arranged to have the body buried.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're 120 feet from the church, so that's not a big deal.
Right.
Okay, well,
Alright,
actually, that's where I was gonna go. I was gonna go to the church, so I'll go with Balner.
Does everybody go together? Or are you going to separate to get the treasure? Or are you going to, hey, look at all the stuff we found in the tomb. Put it back.
I'll secure the loot.
Before
Another interesting thing that you learned, Amir, is that so the Battle of Emerald Meadows, Leonin knows that the events of that only happened like 14 years ago. So this couldn't have been made more than a dozen years ago at most, the tapestry. Most everything in here doesn't look like it's ancient, except for maybe that ring that you got off of the woman's body. And then the coins are all recent Hakak mint.
Oh, Hawk has a mint.
We're
good
grave
to know.
robbers, guys.
I'm
Let's
with you.
face it.
I got it. I'm with you.
He's
I
like,
wouldn't say
"Ching,
it was
I'm writing that
grave
down."
robbers.
Well,
He said it.
If they don't have one, you could make one.
I could make one, but it's cheaper if
I
if
meant
there
I
already
meant
is
mint
one.
leaf. I
Oh,
just meant mint
right,
leaf. That's all.
I mean, I'm just going by what you said.
Just like a little patch, in the garden. Mint leaf. That's it.
Yeah, so I'll go with
Right.
Balner, and then if the three of them want to take the stuff back, to the place, to the tavern that they're staying at, not the place that I'm staying at.
Before I'll do that, but before I do it, I'll go find Zara's grave, and I'll take the letter that I wrote out of my pocket, and I'll just place it on I'll place it in front of the tombstone, and then I'll join the rest of the group.
Can I see that? Can I roll to see if I see that, or are you making that? Does everybody see that?
I wasn't being sneaky.
I was just
Yeah, you guys all see you guys all see Amir take a minute, and he goes maybe another 50 yards in one direction off to a newer section of the cemetery of Palor, and he bends down near a grave, does something, and then comes back.
Balner multi-casted guiding bolt. Have some
And
guiding bolts.
Leonid's like, I roll to see this touching moment.
Before you come back, so you reach down to place it there, and you kind of feel this presence directly behind you. It doesn't feel cold. It's just like someone's there. But you also kind of have this feeling, if I look around, she won't be there. But you hear her voice kind of faintly, and she says, "Oh, why are you writing me a letter? I'm with you always."
It helps me cope.
Helps me cope.
And yeah, that's it. Not just
Yeah, and just as you thought, you look around to get up to
Yeah.
go to the rest of the group, and she's not there.
Same as always.
All right. So the rest of the other three of you go haul all this gear off while Balner and Leonin go to the church with the body.
Hey,
Okay.
where are we taking this stuff? I just got into town and had like 2 beers and I got sucked into this graveyard. What is
Welcome to
going
Hawk,
on
baby.
here?
Woo!
No one kills evil like Gaston.
Welcome to the team, Kellenan.
Well, here's your cut. You should hang with us.
So you guys all head back to the real stream, right?
Yeah,
They
The
do.
real
I would say so. Yeah.
Or no, I think it's called the stream view. The stream view.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
have the stream
The
view,
real
and
stream
I'm
is the
at
stream.
the Rose something winery or something like that.
So the two of you take what's left of this young woman into the church, and sure enough, you find Father Polemius.
Okay. Before we do that, before we walk in the door, I'm gonna say, Balner, I mean no disrespect for this upcoming exchange of conversation that might or may not happen. Just know that. That was to you, Jason.
No disrespect about what?
You'll see.
All right. So you guys go traipsing into the the large double doors. They're like heavy. They might be wood cord, but they're like metal. They're kind of beaten metal surrounds them, and but they're kind of on these hinges that are well made enough that with one person you could open and close one of the doors. So they're cast inward, and really it's chilly in there, but mainly just because it's so shrouded in shadow. The light comes in through stained glass windows that are high on the high on the walls, leading down to the main altar area. And then there's like small little antechambers that are kind of semi-open. And Balner already knows this, but Leonin, you haven't really stepped foot in here, probably since you were a kid.
Nope.
And then really only for state functions, as it were. And there are small shrines to other deities of both, primarily the Flanish and the Iridian pantheon. Mostly the Iridian pantheon, just because the Flanish don't really worship in the same way as most modern day folk. They tend to be more outdoor groves and menhir. But anyway, so that's kind of what you see as you walk in. In fact, you recognize right as you walk in a small alcove off to the right that has almost nothing in it, but you see a symbol of a woman with her hands outstretched, and she's holding like sheaves of grain. And you, just because you were at the temple to Marika in Orlane, recognize it as a small shrine to Marika right here in the temple.
Okay. I'll let Balner take the lead.
So
Approach the priest of Palor and
okay, you see Father Polemius down, like working at something at the tabernacle.
Father Polinius. I realize I'm new here, but I need some assistance in procuring a proper burial for an unfortunate victim here in the graveyard.
He stops, and I assume you're just kind of holding the bundle.
Yeah.
The dripping bloody bundle.
I'd set that down like just outside the door so it wouldn't
okay.
flood into the church. I mean, I'm not a heathen.
Okay. He looks at you somewhat uncomprehendingly. He goes, There's been a death, and this person has no family. Is it a refugee from outside?
The problem is I don't know who it is, and Well, it's kind of a long story, but unfortunately, I found this creature, or this poor soul, having been eaten by an undead.
He blanches at that, and he says, "A nun." He actually kind of looks around, to make sure that like people aren't going to be disturbed by this. There's only like a handful of people in the church here, like kind of on their knees praying, and he kind of he looks a little alarmed, and he quickly kind of walks up to you, and he goes, "No," he goes, "We should probably not say those words around the small folk. They tend to get a bit jumpy." He goes, so he's at this point he's very hushed, just
But he's
talking
a
to the
dwarf.
two of you.
I was gonna say,
Sorry.
He says,
That was
he
terrible.
says,
Sorry.
so he says, "Father Balner," he says, "What tell me what's happened." And his eye kind of goes past you to the bundle at the door, and his face looks even more grim. He kind of nods in that direction. He goes, "Is that what I think it is?"
Yeah, perhaps we should get it out of sight in a proper vessel as quickly as possible.
He says, "Go around to the side." He says, "I'll open the side door. We can take it down to the basement."
Okay. It's a trap.
oh
Yeah.
shit! I didn't even think.
Well, he goes to the side. I'll let him go to the side door. I'm gonna go with the father.
Okay.
And while Balner is
Hang on a second. Let me make a roll there.
Bum, bum, ba-da.
You're walking with Father Polinius, and he walks briskly for a man his age. You see, he goes to an alcove, uses just like a long stick of wood, puts it in a candle, gets it lit, lights a lantern, gets it cranked up, and then you guys start going down a set of stairs together. As you're walking down the stairs, he turns back and he says, he says, "Is your father planning to return to Hawkok, my lord?"
at some point, we're working through loopholes right now, but at some point he will be.
He says, "So have you come back to reestablish our Lord's holdings?"
Yes, but that's actually not why I'm here. Oh, here currently. You guys
Okay.
are about to see a side of Lenin that you might not know had existed.
All right, so you're walking, down these set of stairs. He moves a little slower on the stairs, so you have a little more time to talk. He says he kind of turns briefly, but he keeps kind of splitting his attention as he leads his way down. He says, "And why are you here then, my lord?"
I'm gonna kind of say you're the head priest here, correct?
He says, "I am."
Well, actually, before I say that, I'm gonna say I'm glad you recognize me, so that way we can dispense with the pleasantries. But I need some information.
Go on.
You obviously keep some form of record as to who and or what's been buried here, correct?
Yes.
I need your oldest documents.
Okay. He says, "I'm sure we can dig that up."
More specifically, ones that have to do with a grave that would be in insert coordinates of where Creepy Grave was.
Oh, the mausoleum that you guys just exited?
Yes.
Okay. He thinks about it and he goes, He says, "That's the oldest part of the cemetery." He goes, "In fact, the cemetery predates Hawkok itself." He goes, and continued that use, and we actually, he says, "My predecessors placed the church here near it out of expedience and the fact that it stood on a small hillock." He says, "But yeah," he says, "I can get you whatever records we have." He goes, we track the births and deaths of all of our congregation, as well as anyone who has, given, anyone who has been birthed within Hawkok."
Okay, I need those, and I need them sent to this address. Insert address.
Oh, he thinks on that for a moment. He goes, he says, my lord, we can certainly have a scribe make copies of, whichever passages you need. He goes, but, the more you need, the more time it could take. He goes, I'm not at liberty to have these records leave the church itself. He goes, you're welcome to stay here, of course, and peruse them at your leisure. Of course, my lord. He goes, but this is the function of my office. He goes, is to
That's
maintain
fair.
these records.
I'll look through them. I'll look through them while I'm here.
Okay. He says, well,
Take a
let's
second.
attend to this
Yes,
nasty
yes,
business
yes.
first, though, my lord. Okay. So he gets down to the basement, and it's cold and a little damp down here. But he walks down a long corridor, opens up a door to what you think is kind of what do they call it? A funerary area that they use to prepare bodies. And then across from the hall from that is a short set of stairs up, and he throws a door open, and sunlight pours in, and you see Balner waiting outside. And Balner, Lord Father Polemius says, please come in, bring it right through here. Kind of points the way.
Okay, follow along.
So you get into the funerary area, and he busies about kind of unwrapping your cloak around the grisly remains, and he just kind of like steps back and just surveys it. His face just kind of becomes a mask. He betrays no emotion as he stares at this thing. Guy's probably in his 60s, pretty old for a lot of humans, probably because he hasn't really had too tough of a life as a priest.
Gain anything from insight?
You're trying to figure that out, right? You're trying to be like, does he know something that he's doing a really, really hard job of keeping from me? And what you arrive at is that he's just really working hard not to throw up in front of the both of you.
Oh, that stinks.
I don't smell a thing.
You say that, at which point he's like, you excuse me for a moment? And he steps out of the room.
I'm not even there.
But we smell you from across the city, Grundar.
Right. He comes back a moment later, dabbing like a wet cloth at his face. And he says, and he asks you for the tale, Balner.
Well, it appears that a woman looking much like this woman.
I'm going to actually interrupt him and say, I think it's on a need-to-know basis, Father, unfortunately.
Oh, he says, fair enough, my lord. He looks back at you, Father Balner, kind of like, and
I just kind of shrug.
he says, he says, have the authorities been alerted yet to this person's demise?
Not yet. We dropping the unfortunate remains here is on our.
Okay. He says, well, it is my responsibility to do so. He says, so I'll need to report this to the Reeve and the constable. Actually, it'd be jurisdiction of the city, so to the constable.
I shrug.
What a knock.
Okay. He says, well, we have a special plot in the cemetery for those without names. He says, but we'll when I notify the constable, he says, I think we'll give them 1 week to claim the body. If there's any family Otherwise, then we'll make sure that these remains are interred.
I provide a description of what she would have looked like in life to him.
He listens intently. In fact, he pauses for a moment, goes over and scratches all this down on a piece of paper. Okay. He says, "Is there anything else I should know?"
No.
No, not at this time. The situation is still kind of unraveling itself, and we'll seek your assistance and guidance as necessary.
He nods. He says, "Very well." He says, "Well, then I'll handle it from here." He says, "If there's anything you need around the body," he says, "you might want to collect it now." He says, "Is this your cloak?"
Go ahead and bury her with
Yeah,
it.
we can get you a
I'll,
new one.
I will arrange for a new one.
Okay. He says, "Very well then." He says, "Then I'll lock up." He points back to the side door.
And I say, well, you may wish to have someone tend to the drippings around the side of the building.
He says, "Say again."
You may wish to have someone come clean up the drippings from around the side of the building, lest one of the more common folks see the trail of blood.
Yeah, he blanches a bit. He says, "I'll make sure that the acolytes take care of that." Thank you, Father Balner. Okay. So you guys head off?
No. I got. Yeah.
You're gonna head up to
Yeah.
go visit the.
He's taking me
okay.
there. Balner, I'll see you back at the. I'll see you back at the place.
Well, I can, if it's not going to take long, I can just, tend to my temple here and
Oh,
see
that
if
works,
there's anyone
yeah.
that stop by.
I'll
So I go tend to the temple.
I'll toss him a gold coin and say, "Give Marika my regards."
Very kind of you,
Whoa.
my lord.
I don't know. Leonid's not a religious person. He doesn't know if that's like the thing to do or not. But it seems smart. He just got a payday. I mean, he can spend
And
the
I'm
gold.
gonna do $20 and be like, "Yo, tell Jesus I said what's up."
Jesus is my homeboy.
Yeah, Jesus is my
I
homie.
actually take the gold coin and I hand it to him. I said, the Church of Marika will pay the cost to inter her.
He nods appreciatively and takes the coin. He says, "Well, thank you, Father."
Nice.
Okay,
Uplifting.
so he
I still have
ushers
the
you
tapestry,
out.
by the way.
Oh, right, you got it with you.
Yeah, I have it with me.
Okay. So
Carrying this
Father,
big ass tapestry around.
so Father Polemius lets you out the side door and locks it behind you, Balner. And he's following you kind of back up the stairs. You're ahead of him as he's got the lantern up, and he says, "So, if you don't mind me asking, my lord, what is that you're carrying?"
Oh, you'll find out here in a second.
Okay, all right. So he takes you up into the church. There's like a back set of stairs that goes up to a second floor, which is like over the top of many of the smaller shrines. And as you tuck back in on that second floor, you open up into a large library with a significant portion that just has like little X's for scrolls, scrolls to go into various little nooks. And he points to one area and he says, "The oldest records within the city and the surrounding areas are in here." And he points to a little quadrant of scroll nook. There's probably 150 scrolls in there. He says to you, he says, "As a man of learning," he says, I know you can appreciate, my lord, how fragile these scrolls are. So I will reiterate only once, please be incredibly careful with them as you do your research."
Yeah, I'm just gonna start, looking at them.
Sure. Okay. He leaves the lantern and he says, "Would you like?"
before I do that, I'm assuming there's like a table, right?
Oh yeah,
I'm
several.
gonna lay the tapestry down on the table and point to the really big, crazy, dark-looking castle. It'd say, "Who lived there?"
He peers at it carefully, kind of picks the lantern up and kind of doesn't get it over it so that it doesn't spill or anything on this tapestry. And he says, this appears to be related to the Battle of Emerdy Meadows. Maybe not quite. Maybe a bit over a dozen years ago. He says this is. He says, I have never seen the like here in Hawkok. He goes, this came from outside, certainly.
Yes.
He goes, is the temple of elemental evil, as I understand it. He goes, a legend. He goes, I wasn't even certain it was real. He goes, but if the stories are true, a dark entity was imprisoned there, but that entity in and of itself may or may not have actually been the power behind the temple. That thing, that abominable thing, is known to us as Euse, the old, the wicked.
Say that again.
Euse.
E
I-U-Z.
I-U-Z.
He says the temple itself was almost described as like a horrible facsimile of life, as if it had grown, not necessarily been built. And he goes, I believe that the term elemental evil may stem from a belief that it was tied to a very ancient entity called Tharisdun.
T-H-A-R-A-S-D.
I'll spell it for you.
Amir, this is all getting relayed.
Floor's just getting started here.
Amir, this is all getting relayed to you once we get back, so just FYI.
Oh, so I should be paying attention?
Yeah, you should be paying attention. I'm also going to be relaying it to Grundar, but, he's like, how many things do I have to kill to get to there? That's a pretty good Grundar impression, right?
Riz-dun. Got it.
All right. So he looks at you and he says, is there anything else, my lord? He goes, would you like me to have an acolyte perhaps send up a plate of cheese and wine?
Yes. One more thing. Sorry. Not sorry. I need to know where you keep your records of your noble birth, your births of your upper class families. Specifically in the last 10 years?
Oh, he says, no problem. He goes over here in the newer section. He points to actual bound books.
Okay, thank you. You can leave now.
Yeah, very good, my lord. And he totters off.
We know what you're doing.
All right, first things first. After the guy leaves, I'm looking at birth records of.
you go assholes and elbows over to that section. You're pouring through books.
Yeah, 4 to 5 years ago, roughly. Finding
no.
something. What? I don't know. I don't remember how.
It'd be more than that.
It was 10 years ago, roughly. 10 years.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 10 years ago.
Yeah. Okay. You find what you're looking for. Records indicate that Andrew Cowles. Did they say his name was Andrew?
Yeah.
Or Andre? Yeah.
I think it was
Andrew Cowles. Lord Andrew Cowles was born to. I don't even remember what the guy's first name was, but Rosalie Damon Cowles and Lord something Cowles.
Yeah.
Lord Cowles the Ailing.
Yeah. Cowles the Dying.
Yeah,
Okay.
about 10 years ago.
Does it have a date or anything?
Yeah.
Would it be 8 to 9 months after their wedding?
Yeah.
My life. Okay. Cool. All right, I'm just going to keep that a mental note, not telling anyone about that.
Yep.
I'm gonna very
Yes.
meticulously put the books back. And can I actually press the digitation like dust back on them?
I don't
Yeah,
think it quite works that way.
You
Can you?
soil an object, yeah. You can clean or soil an object, but I
Yeah.
never thought Leonin would ever soil an object.
Right.
I should get inspiration for that.
No.
I'm
But
putting dust back over the books so that it looks like nothing was ever disturbed over there. And then I'm going back to
go ahead.
my original.
All right, sure. In the meantime, of course, I guess I've got 2 of you left. Oh no, there's Nate. So you guys haul all of this 250 pound. So really, I mean, you guys are between 3 of you carrying.
Well, it wouldn't be the full 250 pounds because
I have the tapestry.
Leonin would have the tapestry,
That's probably 25 pounds.
and then Ballner's share would have went with him to his where he's staying there. Is he staying in the church?
Oh, he has a cell there.
Yeah, well, I feel like that he would probably. Well, let's ask him. Ballner, would you take your share of the treasure to your cell there in the church, or?
I'm staying in the inn right now. I have not
Oh, you are?
taken up residence cell in the church.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then, besides the tapestry, then we're carrying everything.
Yeah. So you guys are hauling. I mean, and you guys are. I mean, let's face it. Amir, you're not used to this, but now, thankfully,
No.
like about halfway through, Grundor's like, I can carry that, and this little dwarf is carrying way more crap than you've ever seen.
I'm feeling extra strong today for some
Yeah.
reason.
He looks like an ant.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, even you, Kellenen, are just like astounded at how much this dwarf can haul around with him.
What's your strength?
20.
Wrecked.
Did you already level up? Because we didn't do a full rest.
At level 4, you get +2 to an attribute.
My strength's 20.
4 feet.
Or feet.
I thought you took.
I did.
another feat.
I did. My strength's 20.
Ooh.
Trust me.
Well,
My
Blake,
strength, my
yeah,
strength
I
right
know where
now,
that's coming
as
from.
it stands, is 20.
As we're walking, I will tell Grundar, say, so, when were you going to reveal that those paints that you got from Romney could actually do something besides, make art?
That was all.
Okay,
Did you see how
Grundar.
beautiful
Okay.
that was? What I did.
It was very beautiful, Grundar. We'll discuss this further at the end.
Okay.
All right, you get back to the inn. Actually, not quite. Along the way, Amir, you see your father on a horse that is he kind of nursed back from really. I mean, a noble was going to have it put down because it was lame, but he thought he could save it. And your father has had the ability to work with horses beyond really just about anybody but he hasn't really had good work to a lot of work come his way in a while. And you see that he's got that horse pulling a cart, which he's sitting on, just a little 2-wheeled cart, and it looks like he has some very basic possessions in the back of the cart. And you're like hauling, with like stuff over your shoulders, and you see him. He sees you, and he just kind of pulls the reins in, and the horse stops, and he just sits there, staring at you. He looks like he's dressed for travel.
I'll tell them. Hold on for just a second, guys, and I'll set down what I'm carrying, and I'll approach him.
He sees your approach. He says, "Son,
Father, what's going on?"
Yeah, he says, "This was ill-timed." He says, "Perhaps it's her will, Bismillah." You're like, oh God, here we go again. He says, I've realized that there's really nothing for me here anymore. He says, I can tell you, you'd really be better off on your own. He says, and he says, I left the keys with our neighbor. He goes, the house is yours, as well as what little I've accumulated over the years. He says, I'm going back home.
House
That's
party.
that's a long journey.
He says, I made it here. I can make it there. He says, who knows? Perhaps I will sign on in Neil Dra as a trainer of sorts, or possibly a caravan guard.
Yes, you have been wasting away here. Your talents are so much that they can be used, and why you haven't used them in the last few years, I don't know. But thank you.
He says, look after her for me, would you? I know you will.
Of course. You're taking the dog, right? I don't want to have to deal with it.
And that you see the pooch's head pop up out of the cart. He's like, he likes me better.
I know. And I'll just kind of, I'll reach up to shake his hand, and that'll be the end of it.
He's like, it's shaking a hand or clasping is very much an Iridian sort of thing. Generally the Backloonish, they bow, and he just never has liked that you've assimilated into Iridian culture. So he shakes it, but he just looks kind of like, he goes, if you ever find yourself in Tusmit, he goes, he's looked me up.
I will. And then I'll bow and go back to my companions.
Okay. And off he goes.
If this was a movie, right when you said the thing about the dog, he would have popped up, barked at you, and then licked your face once.
Right? What's that? Timmy fell down the well again?
All right. I'll walk back over, pick up what I was carrying, and just carry on. I won't say anything about it.
Okay.
It's family shit.
Gordon's like, you should have kept
Can I
that
roll?
dog.
Can I roll to see if I saw that?
No, you're still way back.
I'm kidding.
I know.
Yeah, that's the Gurndar actually does say something. He's like, should have kept that dog.
Why?
I like dogs.
I don't. I just keep on going.
I want the dog. No, Gurndar said.
Okay. So you guys get into the inn and work, get all this stuff up to the rooms that you're keeping.
So party at Amir's place.
That's what I'm thinking. I'll make a call. He'll bring all the honeys. We'll get you your second chance, buddy.
That's where the after party is.
Yeah, except I didn't tell anybody that the house is mine now. So
Gurndar
We will
knows.
find out.
I'm sure you will eventually.
Where does
Gurndar
Amir
knows, but
keep
he's not
sneaking
even like
off to?
piecing together the significance of all what just happened. He's just like, so who was that guy? Cool cop, by
Father.
the way.
You, Grundar, you come in carrying all this stuff, and as your friends all kind of filter in, and you come in last. Somebody tries to come out, and you like nearly run into them, and your face basically is right where their abs are, and you look up, and it's that that orcish guy. I'll grow.
You.
You.
I owe you.
What is about to happen? Why am I not here for this?
I set down what I'm carrying. And I tell him to lean down here.
He goes. He does. He just gets down on his he puts his hands on his knees and he puts his face down next to yours and he goes, "I'm here." And he's got like this beefy, oniony halitosis.
You remember our bet?
I do.
Boom!
Roll it. You get advantage because he's just standing there.
All right.
Nice.
Yes. Wow.
Damn. You maxed.
Yeah.
Okay. You. All right, Kellen, and you came in ahead of him, and you saw like an orc trying to come out after you, and you didn't even really, because you got all the stuff on, you didn't even really have time to really turn around. And then as you do, you see this kind of happen. Well, you hear Grundar, but all you really see is this hulking brute of a half orc that's just kind of like bending down. And the next thing you hear is the loud, smack, and then this guy's feet literally come up off the ground. And you have to scuttle backwards to keep from getting hit as he just comes crashing down into a bar stool and just shatters it into pieces. Dude lays there for a moment and he's just like, before he clambers back up again.
Knocks the tusk out of his mouth.
Yeah, he does. He's like,
All right. I just walk in now. I pick the loot back up.
he spits out a big
I'm just
hole.
gonna lean down and be like, this guy just died like a couple minutes ago. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably a little singed. Your beard's a little burnt off on like one side.
What?
Smell a bit like brimstone.
Yeah.
Still has
More.
black paint on his beard.
He
Oh, no, his beard just keeps disappearing periodically.
Yeah, it goes in like a wormhole.
No!
So, Grundar, you're just walking on by like there's no care in the world, and you're headed up the stairs following Kellinan and Amir, and you hear, this guy. He's like, "Wait!"
You can wait a minute. And I go, I go fully set the loot down, and then I come back to the top of the stairs, and I'm like, what do you want?
He goes, "Let me buy you a drink."
All right.
Hey, why not?
Oh, yeah.
All right. How to get Grundar to do anything you want. Let me buy you a drink. Done.
I want to insight check him.
Do you have it?
I'm not.
You can make
proficient in it.
you can make a wisdom check either way. Sure.
Just a wisdom? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, not with advantage, sorry.
You're fairly confident that this guy's not smart enough to be duplicitous.
I don't know what that means, but he's not it.
Right. So yeah, he ordered. You guys go up to the bar, and he orders a couple beers, and he puts one in front of you after the bartender serves him out, and he smacks his tankard against yours, and you both quaff him again. He goes, "What happened the other night?" He goes, "We should do that again sometime."
I'm always willing.
All right.
Just not
He
now,
claps.
because I've got business.
Oh, okay. He goes, "All right." He claps you on the shoulder, and he says, "I like you." He goes, "We could be friends."
I like you too, Ego.
I'll grow.
Ogro.
All right. And he wanders out.
Thanks for the drink.
All right. So you guys, Grundar just drops the shit at the top of the stairs. So you guys are like trying to haul that crap down. And you can hear that overhead as you had your drink. Scrape, scrape, scrape.
I'm drinking in time with it.
Yeah. And so you go meet him upstairs. You've gone into probably your room, Amir, since... Oh, no, you don't have a room here, do you? Probably.
Mm-mm.
And Grundar doesn't either. Who the hell has a room here? None of you guys have one.
I don't know what we're doing here.
You're up in the hallway.
I was told that somebody had rooms here, so
You know, Ballinger does.
yeah. Let's
And by the way, Kellen, and you're looking at the place. It seems like a good enough place to hole up until you find something more semi-permanent.
Yeah, I could get a room. Sure.
You talk to the barkeep, and hey, he's like, 2 gold a night.
You guys,
He says, "I
some
tell you
kind of
what."
fancy joint or something?
The barkeep says, "I tell you what." He goes, "Everybody's been talking about you. You're a little famous, right? Big strapping
Little.
warrior." He says, "Tell you what." He goes, "If you stick around," he goes, "no additional cost. All you can eat, as much as you want of anything we serve here. Eat and drink." He goes, "Just you can kind of help keep the place from getting too rowdy. Is that okay?"
Yeah, I can do that.
I'm gonna purposely start a bar fight.
just to see Kellen in action. All right, yeah. So he says, "Yeah, it's still 2 gold." He goes, "But normally food's extra." He goes, "You eat and drink for free."
Okay, sounds like a deal.
All right. He gives you a key, and he leads you upstairs to a fairly well appointed room. I mean, it has a window with shutters. It's got an actual bed with a mattress, not just a straw pallet, and good blankets, and a little wash basin off to the side and a stand, and enough room that you could throw a bathtub in there if you need to.
Okay.
He has to sidestep all of your giant, boxes and crates and shit. And he's just like, if you need a place to store these, he goes, we have storage, secure storage above the barn or above the stables, if you want that.
How secure?
Well, he says, there's always a stable hand in the stables.
We'll think about it.
Okay. And he heads back downstairs without another word.
All right.
So you guys all you drag all this stuff into Kellanan's room then.
Sure.
Okay.
I guess we kind of have to. We're not gonna leave it sitting in the hall.
Which one's Balna's? I'll try this one.
Was that supposed to be a door opening?
No, it was a lady screaming when I do open the door.
Oh.
I found the wrong room.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, Rose?
That's not what I was looking for. Okay. Back momentarily to, well, you guys get settled in and kind of count your stuff out. Unless is there anything specific you want to do short term for those at the stream view?
Do
No.
we get any of that armor?
Oh yeah, you did say you were going to take the armor. You kind of have to strap that to whatever you can because I mean it's bulky. But yeah, you're able to pull out all 4 suits of armor. Sure. I mean they're in bad shape. They're all going to need work to rejuvenate them.
Okay. Go find a smithy, I guess. If there's one open still, I don't know what time it is.
Yeah, you're looking. It's early evening. Okay, hang on a second. Let me save this. Yeah, so you hear, if you're looking for a true smithy, even though he doesn't man it himself anymore, Gledros Thielsen has still probably the most renowned smithy in the city of Hakok. He's now the mayor, but he has his old apprentices running the place, a batch of new apprentices.
But his shop is supposed to make the best, right?
That's what everybody says. Yeah, here in the bar or in the inn.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna tell my new buddies I take these down to the mayor's smithy and see if I can't get something good made up.
Okay.
Something.
As we're
Epic,
sorting all this stuff out.
Yeah.
What
Okay.
time? What time of day is it? I would assume it would be close to night by the time they got back, right?
It's evening. Well, by now it'd be evening. They got back probably early afternoon, and you've been at the. So I'm going to come back to you for a minute, Ryan. So Leonin is doing research, and you've gone through trying to figure out like how are these scrolls organized? Or, is it chronologically or whatever? And you finally get through some of the very oldest scrolls, many of which are written in a mix of Iridian and older kind of pictogram that you think is Flanish, but you don't speak Flanish, do you?
No.
Okay.
But the Flanish stuff, I can write it though, right? I can kind of scribble it out a little bit.
Yeah, you can transcribe it, sure.
Okay. Some of that, like, if it looks important, I'm gonna kind of transcribe it, I guess, for Amir to deal with at another point in time.
Most of the Iridian seems to speak to the unknown origins of these older crypts, other than that they are Flanish. You think that the Flanish interspersed in there might be only in Flanish because it represents something that doesn't translate well, perhaps? I mean, that would make sense if you're seeing it on the same scroll. So that's about all you're really able to get out of those. So unfortunately, no. One thing that you notice, though, this is probably after about 3 hours. Nobody ever came with your wine and cheese.
Am I on a balcony?
You can look over a balcony down, into the main temple area. Yes.
Do I notice anything?
Yeah, you do. You see an old man in what looks like maybe like the kind of robes you'd sleep in, kind of just staggering around. I mean, this is early evening, but he's sort of staggering around in the main altar area, and he's got his hand to his head. Looks like an older gentleman.
I don't like this toady. But nobody else around.
Yeah. You see, so he's down here on one end of the altar. You see way down on the other side, just outside, a couple of acolytes sweeping and like mopping at the front steps.
I'm gonna say, can the acolytes see me from where I am?
You're really only able to see like from the waist down through the doorway, like the hem of their robes and their sandals, and the swabbing that they're doing and that kind of stuff. But you can't really see them well. No. And you're in the shadowed interior cathedral, and they're outside in the dusk light. You can see down off to the other side, like where the altar is, this old man sort of. In fact, you now see as you look over, he's just sat down in a pew, and he seems like he's just kind of holding his head in his hands.
I'm gonna wrap up the tapestry.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go downstairs.
Okay. You come out.
I'm gonna shut the door
Roughly-
though. I'm gonna shut the door. And
Okay.
then
Come down roughly in the middle of the, it kind of opens up into the middle of the processional, and one way leads towards the front door, and the other way leads towards where you saw this old man sitting in the pew, kind of up towards the altar.
are the acolytes near me?
They're well, like I said, you're about equidistant. They're outside. You can see them now fully.
I'm gonna say,
There's two of them out there.
I never got my wine and cheese.
Okay.
To the
One of them,
acolytes.
the one who had like more of the, broom, he sets it down and pads quietly but quickly inside to you, and he says, "Excuse me, my lord." He just calls you my lord because of your clothing, you think, not because he knows you.
Where's Father? Insert name that I can't remember.
Polemius. He
Polemius.
says, he looks around a bit, and his eyes settle on the man up in the front, and he goes, I think that's, and he trails off, and then he quickly heads that way over to the old man sitting in the pew. He gets over to him. I mean, it's a big enough church that it's not easy to hear if somebody's like just whispering, but you can kind of make out.
This is why Leonin avoids churches.
But you kind of make out the man saying, like, "Father Polemius, are you okay?" And then you hear like some mumbling from that man, and he says, the acolyte, he's like, "Sir, Father, you don't look well." He says, "Should we get you to bed?" And you finally hear the old man kind of a bit more angrily. He says, he goes, "What time of day is it?" He goes, "I've been in bed for hours, I think. Oh God, a headache. I have such a headache."
I hate this person.
What's that?
I hate this person.
So the acolyte says, "But Father, we just saw you like maybe not even an hour ago." He goes, "You were up at the tabernacle." He goes, the old man at this point, he kind of gets up, one hand still to his head, and he staggers over to the tabernacle. He goes, "I've been nowhere." He goes, "I've been in bed all day, I think. At least I think I was." And now you can hear this heated conversation between him and the acolyte. Acolyte just says, of course, Father, of course you're right." He goes, I don't know what I saw."
Great. Okay. Because, that's awesome. All right. Well, I'm going to, as soon as I hear that, I'm going to run back upstairs.
Okay.
I'm assuming I've conducted all my research, correct?
There's more that could be done here, you think? Yeah,
Okay.
maybe another half a day at least of digging through everything here.
Okay. I'm going to wrap up the tapestry, and I'm gonna put it on my back, I guess, if I could do that, or like
You kind of
find
sling
a
it
way
over
to
his
like
shoulder, really.
find a way to like wrap it up maybe, and like sling it over my shoulder.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna walk back downstairs, and say, "I think I'm done here for the night. I'll be back tomorrow."
Okay.
And I'm
Neither
gonna
one of
leave.
them. Yeah, neither one of them seems to pay you any mind at this point. The acolyte seems to be very concerned about Father
Yeah.
Polemius, who's ranting and raving.
And then I'm gonna head back to the inn.
Okay.
Well,
So Balner,
on my way back though, I'm going to be playing my mandolin on the way back.
Okay.
Just like a nice little chill kind of evening tune.
Okay. And this is on the special mandolin.
Yes, this will be on the special mandolin.
Okay. All right. You play quite loudly, and people come out on their porches and everything to kind of watch as you pass by.
It's just kind of like a gentle stroll, just kind of humming like a little tune kind of thing.
Okay. Balner, you get back to the stream view before before the bard does. Any stops
Okay.
you make on the way?
Stop and pick up some more crossbow bolts.
Okay.
And
you
find a
pay a
cloak,
few.
perhaps.
Yeah. Okay. So you pay a gold piece to get both of those things. Resupply your crossbow bolts and buy a new cloak. No problem.
Okay.
Oh, let's take a brief break for a moment while if you think about anything else you want to do. I'm just gonna get some water and I'll be right back. 2 minutes.
All right.
2 minutes, Turkish.
I guess Tyler, we could probably role play out like how that all went, how I'm relaying this information to you. When I get back, obviously I'm going to relay pretty much everything to you, minus the thing about the books and the looking up the dates and stuff.
Yeah, except for looking up if it's indeed your bastard child. Okay,
Yeah,
I got it.
Yeah, you gotta check. And sorry,
Alright.
sorry I went off on that tangent by myself, guys. I didn't really mean to like split the party like that, but I was like, I have an idea. Let's see what I can do.
Who are you? Freaking Ned Stark over here?
Maybe.
Seed is strong in the boy.
um,
Black of hair.
and I will tell you that the doppelganger, did come face to face with me.
Whatever it happens to be, it has doppelganger-like abilities.
Yeah.
I think we've come to that conclusion at least. If you do go back to look at records again, I think it'd be prudent for me to join you.
We can go together. And I'll also think we should make sure we look thoroughly. We could bring Balner and not desecrate the temple, but thoroughly inspect the temple for any. Well, they built the temple after the ruins were there.
Do we want to go back into the crypt? It's not fully explored.
We can.
It's obviously been used as a base of some kind for the bad guys, whoever those guys might be.
Yeah, we could go back into there. Leonin isn't going to be a little too keen on that. He'd like to find out a little more information before we did that.
Grundar, how long does the hole stay there?
It's just there now.
Oh, it's just permanently there.
It's just there. I painted a
Oh.
hole.
Well, that's not particularly good. Okay. When we go back, we need to make sure to get rid of it when we come back out.
I can paint a knot hole.
Thinking about that, we probably should have left somebody there
Where?
in front of the hole that Grundar created.
You mean the one that is now going to allow whatever crypt to come out? Yeah, probably.
No. But what I'm saying is we created a way out.
I know. And I thought about it, and I decided to say nothing. I decided to think about it.
All right. Balner.
Yes.
Anything else you do on your way back to the stream view?
Stop and bless the food stand way. And,
Make a persuasion test. I don't think it's necessarily your strongest suit, but
just charisma.
Yeah.
Or religion.
Yeah, you could probably substitute religion for this.
No.
You start saying a prayer to Marika over a food stand, and the stall keeper doesn't recognize like the prayer. Maybe you don't know what, but he's like, "What are you doing, sir?" He's like, "Are you going to buy something? If not, you should move along."
I don't understand. Please make your order.
He seems a little alarmed at whatever it is you're doing.
I buy his food and say, Marika, Marika's blessings upon you.
Oh, you're a priest of Marika? Why didn't you say so? He goes, here, have an extra apple.
Bless you, my child.
All right. You happen to see, as you approach the inn, Kellinan come out, and he's got like a big crate, with some rope handles, and he's kind of carrying it, and it's just piled high with that black enameled armor, and he's headed down the road as you're heading up to the inn.
Would you like a hand with that?
Sure, I'm taking this to the blacksmith, the mayor's blacksmith.
Black armor to the blacksmith. Makes sense.
So you help him offload some of the stuff, and the two of you head off in that direction.
Kellen and Balner are going to come back with like fused armor sets. Like, you form the head, I'll form the leg.
Voltron!
It's Voltron, exactly.
And the problem is, Balder's going to be like, why do I always have to form the legs?
They're so short and stubby.
Yeah, right.
You get about halfway down the road when a contingent of city militia you see them marching up the road, kind of in like the direction you're coming from. They're marching. They're like double timing it. They get within about maybe 50 paces of you guys, and you see they are all looking right at you. You don't think they're going up the road. You think they're coming to intercept the two of you.
You know what this is about?
About the time that you notice them noticing you, they seem to notice that you notice that, that you're looking at them. And
So on and so forth.
And the leader of this militia, or at least the spokesman for it, and these guys are all wearing like studded leather, and they've got shields and spears. And one of them says, hold! You're under arrest.
We are holding things. What do you mean?
For what?
They're still coming right. They're still coming right at you guys.
Set down the box.
For robbing the dead.
You didn't rob the dead.
Robbing the dead.
You've been accused of stealing, and they actually point at what you've got right there. You've been accused of stealing artifacts from
By
a crypt.
whom?
That's unimportant.
Actually, it's very important. Because the reason we went to that crypt was because we were told by a woman that her child had disappeared, and we tracked the child's footsteps into the crypt. However, when we entered the crypt, we found we were attacked by undead, and the remains of the very woman who told us her child was there was being eaten by an undead creature. So clearly, you have a doppelganger in your city, and you should be more concerned about that.
He's like nodding as you're telling the story, and he's like, finally, you get to the end of it. He's like, and then he like ribs his buddy. He's like, all right, pull the other one. He goes, boys, take him. And you find yourselves being surrounded by city guards. What do you do?
I start
What do you
blessing
think we
them in the name of Marika. You two, you look like you make a lovely couple. Would you like to work?
That's great. That's pretty good.
Thus was the end of Balner. Succumb to guard brutality.
Okay, so do you guys not put up a fight?
No.
Nah, do I want to kill 12 of these guys or no? Nah.
There's about 20. There's about 20 of them.
So go.
Well,
So this
Kellinan.
should have been your line, Kellinan. This should have been your line. It's like
Yeah.
if you're gonna arrest me, you're gonna need a lot more men than that. Go get some more guys, and then we can talk.
Actually, I just turn around, start walking back towards the end, and I'm like, you should have brought more guys.
Well, what is Balner gonna do? What is Balner doing?
Yeah, I mean, these guys are surrounding you. I mean, if you start to walk away, they shields up and they level spears at you. They're like, disarm yourself now, come peaceably, this will all get sorted out.
If you wanted me to come peaceably, you wouldn't be pointing spears at me.
You're the one who broke the law, dwarf.
No. Have I been convicted of breaking any laws?
You've been accused.
Well, that's different than having broken the law, is it not?
He says, you'll be coming with us for questioning.
I see.
I mean, whatever. I don't care. Are we gonna kill these guys? What are we doing here?
Well, you kill these guys, there's just going to be a lot more.
Yeah.
I don't want to kill them.
Well,
Even better, there'll be more guys and them. But again,
So, who gave you my description?
One of us says, my commander told me to come apprehend you. He goes, Constable Willem Tholes.
I see. And what description did he give you?
He goes, he didn't. He just gave me orders. He goes, are you going to resist?
If he didn't give you a description, how would he know? How would you know who I am?
He simply points down at the pile of armor. He goes, I think that speaks for itself, don't you?
A pile
Stolen
of
goods.
armor?
He goes, what kind of self-respecting citizen robs the dead anyway? He says,
Well, I'm a priest of Marika.
I don't know. We killed the dead, so that's kind of how it works, right?
he looks at you like you make absolutely no sense.
That's how adventuring works,
He says,
you kill it, you get its things. That's how it works. We just saved you from a bunch of undead. You should be thanking us.
He goes, you're running out of legs to pull, sirs. He goes,
No, we'll go down and show you. Hey, come on. Let's go down and look at this place, and we'll show you. Come on.
He says, in due time. He says, I have my orders.
I'm still trying to figure out how you had orders to go arrest some random person, and you know exactly who it is. You have no description of us as individuals. You have no description of what goods we may have stolen. You have no description of anything other than your boss told you to go arrest some people. So what did you do? Just pick two random people in the street?
Yes, that's exactly what I did, he says, and he kind of rolls his eyes. He goes, all right, take them. And they close in. Now, Amir, you're in the room with Grundar with all this gear, and you look out the window that in Kellenen's room, and you see your buddies get stopped, and then all of these guards kind of fold in around them.
Oh, shit.
And then they level spears.
Oh, double shit.
Don't
what?
don't tell Grundar.
Okay, I'll cast a message at Balner. What's happening? What's going on? It's in your head, and you can reply in your head too, so they can't hear our conversation.
Well, you have to whisper it. It's not in your head.
You do? Oh, I thought that's how it worked.
Grundar's trying to see out the window. It's just like, what the fuck is that?
We're being arrested for being grave robbers. Curious. Huh?
Oh.
I was just starting to like this place too.
You've been in town for like about a half a day.
I know. I saved the
line.
town, and then the town arrests me. You guys suck.
And you're kind of thinking to yourself, I just spent money on an inn for the night. I wonder if I'm going to get my money back if I don't spend the night in it.
So is it sunny out, cloudy out?
Yeah, it's been a pretty nice day. Very nice day. Although it's dusk now. So they're actually so three guys, probably 3 or 4, have spears like right at you guys since you haven't disarmed yourselves yet, and the another 2 kind of carefully come in to disarm your weapon belt.
I cast some energy. And then have
You start to cast. Okay.
it's
Ah.
Oh. Survive the
it's a fight.
survive the dungeon and
I've got my
get killed
hands
by
up.
the city militia.
I've got my hands up. I'm just muttering to myself.
So you've got your hands up like you're going to let them disarm you.
It's only a verbal spell.
Okay, so you start verbally casting a spell. The leader is like, "Don't let him, boys." Roll initiative.
Okay.
Roll initiative.
All right, let's see.
You're free to stand aside.
All right, if you intend to do anything, Nate,
Wow.
you may also
That
roll
was
initiative.
awful. That was awful. I didn't even click on them though, but it was
Oh.
a 5.
All right, here, I'll do it for you. I rolled worse than you. All right, here, I'll add you.
Would I know this guard?
He is like a sergeant of the guard. It's too difficult to tell from where you are.
Mm.
Descend. Well, as it turns out, Balner, you get to go first. So you rattle off the verbal components to your spell. What do you want to have happen with your thaumaturgy?
A peal of thunder, and then I will yell, "Marika is displeased with you."
Okay, I'll let you do.
And I do nothing else.
Okay.
Oh.
Lose. Oh, we lost Mason.
Yeah.
No, we lost you. No, either.
He's there.
The guards that were about to take your weapon belt off, they pause at this as you make a peal of thunder sound and kind of make yourself sound more just there,
Almost.
right? And yeah, and they kind of step back. The leader says, "No funny business." He goes, "We don't want to harm anybody."
I will come on peaceably.
Okay. What do you do, Kellenan? You have the same thing happening. You got like 4 guys with spears on you, 2 guys like trying to take your sword out of your sheath and take your shield away from you.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. I'll just go along with it.
Okay. All right.
No
So
big deal.
aside from that little thing, these guards are kind of timid around you, Balner, especially, but they get your weapons away from you. They seem to calm down a bit after that, and then they march you off to the right near the gate. There's a small barracks there. What about you, Amir? When you saw that, what are you doing?
Do any of them peel off to come to the inn, or are they all following those 2?
They're just going with them. Oh, and they take the plate armor too.
All right. And they're going, and they're taking them to the barracks.
Yeah, actually, no, you're right. Probably 6 of them peel off, headed in your direction. Yes.
Okay. Can prestidigitation change the color of my hair? I know I can't change my facial features or anything, but
I don't read that you could do that. It's more of like an alter self sort of thing. Or a
okay.
sky
I
self
was just
sort
making
of
sure because I know
ability.
I
Yeah.
can make like colors and stuff. All right.
Yeah, I don't think it's anything quite that specific.
Fuck. Just
Um,
I'm all out of spells too. This sucks. Well, if I know they're if we can get if I can get some rest in, it doesn't matter if I'm chained up or not. I'll still be able to cast spells, and I know that. I think so. It doesn't. Nothing spills over into the inn or anything. I'll kind of get Grundar to come with me, I guess. Sucks that he's not here now. And I'll go like meet them before they get into the inn, because they're gonna find me. I'm pretty easy to pick out of a crowd.
Right. So you leave the stuff in Kellenen's room, and then the two of you go downstairs. Okay. You recognize the captain of the watch. He knows you. You've done work for them. Or not really a captain, he's a sergeant.
Sergeant?
He says,
Seems to be the problem.
Amir, he looks pained. He says, goes, I'm here to arrest you and that dwarf. He goes, and some lordling. He goes, I'm sorry.
On what charges?
Grave robbing.
Who accused me of this?
He says, I honestly don't know. He goes, the constable sent me to arrest a group of people. He goes, when they said it was a white-haired, elvish fellow, he goes, well, you're the only one in town. He goes, did you participate in any of this? He goes, we've already recovered some gear from this other human and dwarf.
Yes, I saw. Can I speak to the constable?
He
Can you
goes,
take me to him?
he laughs. He goes, well, of course. He goes, I unfortunately, in which case you will have a chance to speak to the constable.
You kind of cut out there in the middle, Tony. I didn't catch all of it.
Oh, he says, yes. He goes, we have to arrest you. He goes, so you, of course, will have an opportunity to speak to the constable.
Do we have to bother with chains, or can we walk on our own?
He looks at the dwarf, kind of a little circumspect, and he says, you vouch for the dwarf?
I do.
It's actually really good Grundar's not here right now.
Right? I'm kind of actually hoping he gets in so we can play that. I kind of want to see where that goes.
No, just keep going.
He says, he nods at Grundar with that monstrous, scary looking axe, and he says, we either have to take that or, he can put it away. Does he have a room here?
Yes, we can put it away. That's fine.
Okay. He says, I understand there were other things taken, Amir. He goes, is that true?
But I don't know if you know all the circumstances.
He goes, it's not my place to know any of them.
Sergeant. You're killing me. Me and my compatriots have more than likely saved the city today,
He
and
goes,
now we're getting
I
arrested.
keep hearing this story. He goes, I thought the dwarf was crazy. He goes, why don't you tell me the tale as we head back? He goes, but before we do, he goes, I have to know. Are there goods here at the Stream View that you took from crypt in the in the cemetery of Palor?
Yes, but there are no artifacts. I can guarantee that.
I think you have somebody like coming to check on you, Nate.
I'm just on my computer.
I think he's been stopped. Did you see that? He had somebody shining the light in there.
Oh,
Oh,
That's kind of funny. Well, let's give this a second. Let's see if he's gonna be able to join us.
yeah.
Just looking somewhere out of the way. If I'm bothering. Okay. Well, they haven't said anything to me.
I think Nate's got stopped. Nate, I think a cop is looking at Nate. I think that's what it is. It's alright. He's a military man. Cops usually are pretty chill about that. I actually got pulled over today. Fun story. No, I just a registration from being out 2 months. Got out of Texas. Yeah, I was driving to school at 6 o'clock in the morning, 6:15.
One player's computer blows up. The other one gets a random stop.
While he's actually
Well-
getting stopped in game.
Right.
well, the thing is he's actually is stopped. He was just,
He's
I'm
just in a
assuming
parking
he was
lot.
parked somewhere.
He's
I
just
mean,
sitting in a parking lot.
Yeah. Right. Oh yeah.
so interesting things on the stream tonight.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I didn't mean for it to be, quite that authentic. Yeah, we'll pause while these two work out their deals.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh,
Oh.
he actually had smoke coming from his computer. That's a new one.
I can't.
God, I got some fun stuff I want to get through, but I also don't want these guys to miss out on it either.
Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure that the conversation that I'm having with the sergeant would be going very differently
Right?
if Grundor was actually present. Weird. I mean, usually people wouldn't. I mean, if you're sitting in a parking lot like that, usually they wouldn't bother you. But
Well, it might be after hours there now.
oh yeah.
Suspicious.
Difficult this is for me to maintain the
Every
stream.
time somebody pops
Every
in
time
and out,
somebody pops in and out, it's like what.
flat.
Or, I
flat.
mean, if we're live right now, you might want to pop that
Yeah.
technical
pop-
difficulties.
Yep.
Please tune in. Tune in later.
Right.
We should probably make a splash for that technical difficulties.
God, that's too bad too, because I'm having some fun with it.
I guess we could do mine, right? I mean,
Yeah.
they're about to try and arrest me. Keyword in the sentence is try.
Well, you're a little separated from the crew, a little behind them.
Oh,
It's actually
I hope they get arrested and are like walking right past me. I hope that happens. Like,
Oh no, they'll arrest you too. Then they have your description.
no, they won't arrest me.
He's confident in that.
I'm a bard, man. I don't get arrested. I either go willingly, or I tell you you're not gonna arrest me, and then you don't. Depends on my role.
Let me text. Well, shit. I mean, he'll let us know as soon as he can. Wonder if he's going to be able to find a place to get Wi-Fi.
There he is.
What happened, man?
5-0 got him.
Yeah, did you see that?
Got busted by the 5-0. Fuzz got you?
Man, that was the second time this guy come talk to me. First time he said it was fine that I was there. He just run my license, make sure I wasn't like doing anything bad. And then just now he's like, yeah, the shop owners keep calling because I was like in like this parking area behind out of the way. Yeah, I'm getting it in the game and in real life at the same time.
I said art imitates life, or vice versa.
Yeah, he told me to come over this place. I was like, just looking for somewhere to hang out, man.
I just saw Mason's note. I'm just at the Lowe's to play Dungeons and Dragons. Step out of the car, sir.
I'm at a different spot. There's not even a Lowe's here. There's not a lot.
All right. Well, I'll tell him we're going to continue on. All right. Okay. So yeah. So the sergeant he says, you know, are you are there goods here at the stream view that were taken from the crypt?
Yes.
He sighs. He's like,
Possibly in Balner's room, but only in Balner's room. You guys have your own room, and they don't know that. And Balner hasn't been back there.
he looks at you, Amir. And he says, "Take me to him."
All right.
You head back.
I really hope you fudge this, Amir.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like, what I'm saying is I really hope you don't take him to the real stuff.
Well, okay. Here's Amir's line of thought at what's happening right now. One, somebody's ratted us out, and they know we have stuff. They know, they already know. Two, they're gonna search the whole inn anyway, because they saw me and Grundar coming out of it. So they're gonna find it. So might as well just take them to it, and then get it back later, because we have the rightful ruler of the city on our side.
Well, this is metagaming, and I'm just saying this outside of the thing, but this is my guess. This is metagaming, and I'm just saying this. Don't act upon this, but this is my guess, because I want to make a guess.
By the way, before you, do you got the stream going again?
Yeah, it's good.
All right, cool. Okay, great.
We have something that this person wants, and they used us to go get it. We have one of those rings, rubies, whatever random things that he wants, and he wants it. So he doppelgangered the what's his face, and so whatever he wants, we're not gonna see again. Just saying. Continue on. He's gonna take it and leave, or she. I don't want. I mean, I like to be open to all genders here. The stream is open to all genders.
All right. So yeah, he says, "All right, let's go." And
All right, I'll take it to him. Take him to it.
all right, so you go up to Kellenen's room and unlock it, and you know, there's all the stuff. He whistles. He's like, yeah, actually, his jaw drops. I mean, you know this guy. You know, he and his wife barely get by. You know, like a lot of people, and he's just like,
Yeah.
And this guy, you know what? This guy is, you know what? We're gonna give this fool a name, because this is probably the guy that contracts with you mostly.
Golly, I want to walk up.
Not yet.
It's killing me.
You
Suspense.
split the party.
I did, but for a rightful reason.
Well, that shit happens.
It happens. That's true.
Roman name, I guess.
Yeah, Iridian. You know, they're very Romanesque.
He's Agrippa.
Agrippa. Okay.
Isn't that a type of fencing?
Isn't that a smelly kind of cheese?
Well, no. The Princess Bride, where they're dueling back and forth. You know, they're different forms.
I don't know.
I can't remember.
Yeah,
It's been a while since I've seen that movie.
I've seen it many times, but I don't remember that. I remember iocane powder though. So anyway,
unless he said he's Agrippa, which I have. Yes.
all right. So anyway, Sergeant Agrippa, he looks at this. And he's just like, his jaw drops, and he looks it over while there's a group of like 5 guys all outside. You and Grundar are inside the room with him, and he's just looking over all of this stuff, and he holds up one of the coins, and he goes, "This is this has the most recent duke on it." He goes, how did you take ancient coins from an old an old crypt that have modern coinage in it? He goes, this didn't come from there.
I can only tell you where we got it from, and it was from that crypt. We went in to save a child, and we were nearly overrun by undead. We killed all the undead. Well, re-killed them. And then we
And
found...
drow.
yes, and a drow. And then we found a treasure room that had all of these coins in it. So I knew that they were not ancient. I knew that somebody else had been in here and somebody had been using this for a base. And whoever this person is, they work with undead. And that is not a good thing. So we took it so they would not have it. And we were going to investigate further. And now you're arresting us.
He sighs. He says, I'm sorry, Amir. He goes, but I have to follow orders. He says, I believe you. He goes, let's do this. He goes, there's really too much to take with us. He goes, why don't I post these four of the men here? We'll leave the items here. He goes, you and the 2 of you, me, and he mentions one other guy. We'll go back. We'll talk to the we'll talk to the constable. We'll get this sorted out.
I'm agreeable to that.
Okay. He says, he leaves the axe. You leave. He just sighs. Whatever. Whatever. And the group of you heads down, short 4 guards that stay upstairs.
The guards that stay, I take a moment to remember their faces, just to be, because I don't fully trust anybody at this point.
Okay. Yeah, you step in front of each one, look each one dead in the face. They look somewhat kind of, like anytime you look somebody in the eyes, they kind of recoil a bit, they get a little squirrely. But you memorize all their faces. No problem.
All right. Lead on, Agrippa.
Okay. And you guys head out. As you guys are walking down the street, Leonin toting his
You hear a mandolin. You hear a mandolin in the distance.
That's right. Yeah,
the
you
the
hear
most
him coming.
beautiful of the mandolin sounds.
Do you alert Agrippa to Leonin as well, or do you just go and kind of try to brush that off?
I'm not going to alert him to it like right off the bat, unless he goes to investigate. Then I'll, go with
Not at the
him.
moment. He's already got his. You can see Agrippa's head is just swimming with all of this. Oh, he does ask you back when you were at the inside the inn about your other companion, this so-called lordling.
We parted ways. We parted ways back at the cemetery, and we were going to meet later. I don't know where he is.
Okay, then okay, perfect. So yeah, he's not paying any attention to you guys are walking really the other direction, back down toward the main gate. Leonin, you're playing along. You see 2 of your companions, Grundar and Amir up ahead with 2 city guardsmen.
I really wish I had a I had a sorcery point left, and I'd message you, but I don't. I'm all out still.
Okay. I'm going to. I'm gonna stop. No, I'm gonna keep playing the mandolin, and I'm gonna continue walking to the tavern.
Okay.
But when I get to the tavern, I'm gonna
Mhm.
stop playing the mandolin.
Okay. You see that the 4 of them have all headed off toward the barracks.
And then I'm gonna follow them.
Okay.
Hold on, hold on,
You're,
hold on. I need like a more specific action set than head off to the barracks, I guess. So okay. So I see 2 of them, correct? I see 2 of them with 2 guards. I see Amir and Grundar with 2 guards.
correct.
But I don't see Kellinen and Balmer.
Correct.
Okay. So once I get to the inn, I'm going to look at them, and I still just see the 4 of them,
And they're
correct?
walking the other direction. You only see the 4 of them.
Okay.
You hear a whisper from just inside the door. You hear, my lord, my lord. One of the you just chance a look. You see one of the barmaids inside the door. She looks rather alarmed. She says, "There's guards upstairs." Goes, evidently your description has been circulated among the militia. She goes, "You're to be arrested."
Okay. What I'm going to do, actually, at this point is... Hang on. The barmaid's saying that. I'm actually going to... I know that that's where they're going. I'm going to go into the tavern.
Okay. She looks really uncomfortable, and you can hear heavy footsteps upstairs.
And
Heavy shod feet.
okay, I need to check something real quick because this is going to be um this is going to be pretty big. Oh, shoot. Sorry guys, give me 2 seconds. I didn't think this through 100% yet. Okay. I'm going to go in. And then I'm going to ask the lady how many guards are upstairs.
She thinks for a moment and she says, "I think there are."
Oh, so she is going to tell me 4 or 5.
Mhm.
Change of plans. Going to follow them.
You head back outside.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, no one. Tell me. I'll be back. Tell me if anyone goes upstairs. Anyone. No, excuse me. Don't allow anyone upstairs. No one. And then I'm gonna hand her 3 gold.
She goes, "I can do that except for the militia." She goes,
Okay.
I can't stop them."
Okay, those are the only people. Nobody else goes upstairs.
Okay, my lord. She goes, you know, they will be done."
And do I see the big orc? I don't know the relationship, but
You see a big orc kind of sitting at the bar. Sure.
is he the
An
biggest?
orcish looking fellow.
Is he the biggest individual
Oh yeah,
in the bar?
by far. Yeah.
I'm also gonna point and say, ask him to help him, and I'll make sure he eats for free for the next week.
Oh, if
Ask
somebody
him-
tries to go upstairs.
Yeah, ask him to help you, and I'll make sure he eats for the week. Eats for free for the week,
Okay.
and then I'm
Yes,
gonna
my lord.
leave.
Okay. All right.
Oh, one more thing, and I'm gonna like hand to the tapestry. Hold on to that.
She goes, "Is this?" Oh, okay, no
No, no,
problem.
no. I
She's
just I bought it.
absolutely.
I bought it earlier today. Don't worry about it.
Okay, my lord. She says. They carted off behind the bar.
And I'm
Whoops.
actually, since I'm probably pretty far behind them, I'm gonna kind of do. I'm gonna have to pull a lean and jog.
You mosey as quick as possible to catch up
Yeah,
with them.
yeah.
Okay. All right. You don't catch up with them by the time they get to the barracks. So you're probably just a few seconds behind them. But they unless you're being like flat out run, making a
No,
lot
no,
of
no, no,
noise.
no, no. I don't flat out run.
Okay. All right. So Amir, you and Grundar get taken in. Unlike the others that you saw, you're not marched in at spear point. And they put you in the cell with Kellenen and Balner, the four of you. And as he does so, the Sergeant Agrippa, he closes the door. He sees you're looking right at him. He goes, "I don't like this any better than you." He goes, "You've done good work for the city." He goes, "I'll do what I can to make him listen."
If you can bring him if you could bring him here, even better.
Oh, absolutely. Okay. So, that exchange happens, and then what? You walk in the main office area, Leonin.
Just walk in.
What do you do?
Do I see them? Do I see them going through like a door, or what do I?
Yeah, absolutely. There's just like a door at the base of. It's like a building that's kind of been built into the there's like
Built into
two
the wall.
towers. Yeah, there's like two towers around the entry. Okay, like minaret towers, and then there's just like a building that's kind of been built into the wall. Has a sloping roof down, but looks like 2 stories. And they walked right into a door. At the like a big main double wide door at the base of the not the tower, but the barracks building.
Okay. Um, is there a balcony of any sort?
On this building, no. It's actually, it's even from here, it's very defensible. Like
Okay.
the windows are almost slits. It's built almost like a little impregnable fortress.
Okay. Yeah, I'm walking in.
Walk right in the front door. Okay. Okay. The there's probably half a dozen guardsmen all bustling about the chamber that you walk into. It's just a large open chamber. There's probably about 3 doorways headed off. At the back of the room, it's kind of open visibly, but there are bars. And behind that, you see probably 3 other humans in addition to your companions
Okay.
in this large holding area.
I'm gonna say I'm here to speak with a constable.
Okay, that catches the attention of a man, probably human, 30, you think, no more than 30, and he's about ready to walk out of a door, and he stops, turns, looks at you, and you see wheels turning in his head.
Yeah, I wanted to report a shit. I can't believe I'm about to do this. Actually, I'm not going to, because that's terrible, and Leonin wouldn't do that. Um, yeah, I'm here to see the constable, and who would he be? Chop chop.
The guy,
I'm actually gonna clap my hands with it as well.
he straightens his back a bit and he goes, your name is, sir?
My name is Leonin Farvale.
He nods at that. He says, I thought as much. He goes, unfortunately, sir, you're under arrest. He goes, thank you for turning yourself in.
Yeah, see, here's the problem though. That's not gonna happen until I speak with a constable. Unless Unless actually all of you guys want to lose your jobs.
All right. Make make a simple persuasion check to see if you can keep him in conversation long enough for your charms to work.
Oh,
No, I will be using a card.
Do you have a card for an auto?
Oh,
or
yeah.
Are you gonna
I
reroll?
actually I have a card for auto 20 or an auto
Auto success on a
yeah,
on a
auto
charisma?
success. Yeah.
All right, drop it.
Yep, give me a second here. I have to go to the screen. It is the whatever that girl is. That's a charisma one. The crown is a charisma.
Crown. Yeah. Hang on a second.
Yeah, I'm not gonna let that slide.
Oh, look how perfect it is.
it's a liar.
Right.
I'm technically telling the truth.
Now the problem is you have already rolled it, so unfortunately you have to re-roll it.
Okay. I should have just done the auto cast anyways.
Well, you generally. Oh my
Are
god.
you freaking kidding me? All right, I'm dropping another card. I'm literally not gonna let this happen.
Well, I mean, okay, all right. So you've used that card.
I'm not gonna let this happen.
Yeah, I'll let you burn another card. Go ahead. Okay. And he has to make a saving throw, right?
I
Or
mean,
be charmed by you?
yeah. I guess we could work that. We could roll with
I'm
that.
assuming that's what. I mean, why wouldn't you?
Yeah. Why wouldn't I? That makes sense.
I'm trying to remember how that works for your character, though. What's it called? Silver tongued or something?
Yeah, I can pop it. I think I have it. It's called
Was it?
Diplomat. The master of the art of diplomacy, getting the following benefits: increase your score by
Oh,
one.
right.
Proficiency
So
in
it really is
persuasion.
the-
You spend
yep.
1 minute talking to someone who can understand what you say and make a
Yep.
charisma persuasion check. Creatures insight check. They take an insight check.
You talk to him, and so what's the gist of what you're trying to tell him? What are you using to convince him not to do this? That he's going to lose his job.
Yeah, that he's gonna lose his job.
Okay.
I'm gonna say, do you know who I am?
He looks rather uncomfortable, but he says, "Yes, my lord."
Yeah.
He says very well. He says, "I'll take you to the constable." And at that, he leaves 2 guards in the main room with all of you, and the others all go to follow you into the constable's chambers. The constable seems rather irritated that that Sergeant Agrippa has brought you, a suspect, directly into his chambers instead of arresting you as is proper.
Care how much he
Okay.
how he
So
feels.
he starts bawling him out right in front. Do you step in or say or do anything?
Yeah, of course I'm gonna step in.
Okay.
As soon as I walk in the door, there is gonna be no room for him to actually say anything. And I'm gonna say, what do you think you are doing?
He says, "Excuse me? Who are you to speak to me that way?"
You're excused. My name's Lord Leonin Farvale.
He says, "At the moment, you are a suspect, as I understand it." He goes, "Did you?"
I'm not even gonna. I am interrupting him. As
Okay.
you understand it, and on what grounds?
Well, he says, "I understand we have physical evidence that you and your companions stole property from graves in the city, in the cemetery of Palor."
There was no stealing, first of all. Second, we were asked to go down there to investigate. investigate a murder that had happened. Third, these items are evidence that we're currently working on a case because we were actually trapped inside there. Do you even know what's down there? I don't think so.
So of course not. He goes, we don't disturb the resting places of the dead.
Yeah, something very evil is down there, and I don't really care if you believe me or not.
He says, well, you should care because I am the duly appointed magistrate, not magistrate, but the duly appointed head of law enforcement.
Duly appointed by who?
It was by the mayor.
Oh, and the mayor who works for...
Goes the Duchy of Jeff.
Correct, and that would be...
He kind of comes to the same conclusion. He says, yes, well, of course. He says, he goes, clearly we should get this sorted out, my lord. He goes, I have no desire to bring any sort of stain upon your good name in this matter. He says, I'm only doing the job that I'm appointed to do, sir, which is to investigate this.
And I appreciate your job. I do. And I'm not meaning to cause any trouble, but you are currently hindering my investigation. So I would appreciate it if you let my companions downstairs go. And if you'd like to, and you let us sleep in our own beds tonight, we're not going anywhere. And if you'd like to, we can talk about this with, what's the mayor's name again?
Tealson, Gledros Tealson.
We can talk about this with Mayor Tealson in the morning like civilized individuals.
Okay, you spent enough time. Make another persuasion test.
I think that was pretty dang good. I don't think I should have to make a persuasion test. Especially seeing how I've been rolling.
I'll give you advantage on this one, actually.
Oh, thank God.
You role played that out pretty well. I know you're worried about those rolls, right?
I am. When you have a +9 to something, yeah, there we go. Yeah, get wrecked.
Oh, okay. I don't think he's going to be able to touch with that, but let's take a look.
When you have a +9 in something, the only thing that's going to kill you is the 1s and the 2s and the 3s.
After you end with that, about a minute ticks by while you let it sink in, and you're not sure it's going to work. But eventually, he clears his throat, and in that simple action of clearing his throat, you know you have him. And he says, "Yes, well," he says, "I have it on, your word, my lord, of course." He says, and that, of course, is as good as any word in the land. So he says, "Of course," he says, "I will release all of them into your recognizance." And he says, "Now the one thing is, until we resolve this," he says, those items, he says, they need to remain as they are, where they are. He says, with the guards that we've left.
Unacceptable.
He says, they need to remain. He says, he's kind of taken aback again. He goes, "What do you mean?" He says, "I mean, they're evidence."
Yeah, my evidence.
Well, you see his guards, there's a bunch of guards in the room. They're all just watching the two of you, and he crumbles, and they all see it. Well, he says, well, yes, I mean, I guess technically, it all is your property, or your father's property, as it were. He kind of trails off a bit. He says, Agrippa, he says, go ahead and release all of these men. He says, but he says, make sure they understand not to leave the city until this matter is concluded.
Thank you very much for your civility, sir. I appreciate it, and we can resolve this in the morning. What time? Maybe 10 o'clock?
Yes, I think that sounds like a good time. He says, we'll meet you here.
Excellent. I'll bring the mayor myself.
Very good.
Thank you. And I'm going to turn and walk out.
Okay. So, yeah, you see Leonin come back in. Amir, you can't help but notice that Agrippa as he comes in. He's kind of got his head down a little bit, but as he kind of looks over at you, Amir, you just see the kind of the snicker on his face. He comes over and he unlocks the door. He goes, "You're free to go."
Thank you, sir.
Goes, "Oh," he says, "Don't thank me," and he just points over to Leonin.
As I walk by Agrippa, he'll hear me just whisper, "It's fucking bards, man."
Okay, so yeah, it's dinner time. You guys are all hungry and tired. I mean, you've been burned and beaten and covered in gore and all kinds of crap. You still even haven't really had a rest yet.
No.
So what do you do?
I'm going back to the. I don't even talk to them, actually. I go straight back to the inn.
Okay.
You don't talk to us?
Like, I actually like.
Yeah, he leaves while the guy's still unlocking your.
I'm actually pulling a sprint action to like get back to the inn, right?
Okay.
Dashing.
Amir, you actually see that is the first time you've ever seen that. As you head out the door, you see him literally just booking it, headed back to the inn.
Well, it's the first time I've seen it where it's not been like a fight or something.
Right. Well, he's run like that away from, but never.
Yeah.
Well
That towards
played.
things. That's a new one. That's a new one.
Well
Is he being chased by a
played.
poltergeist again?
Oh man.
So, Jason, you missed it. Leonin got you guys all sprung.
Oh no, I heard. I was listening.
Oh,
So
okay.
I said-
All right.
That's why when I came back, I said, "So what? Was a poltergeist chasing him when he was running?"
Right.
One can only assume.
Maybe,
That's a
maybe
drug.
it was the invisible one this time.
You're the first one back to the stream view, Leonin.
I'm gonna be like.
Yeah, you're.
Ask
you're definitely
ask
breathing
the
hard.
ask the barmaid. Did anybody go upstairs?
She goes, "No." She goes, "It's only been 20 minutes, sir." She goes, "Do you need to sit down? You look pale.
No
Actually,
one.
you look very red faced.
No one went
you
upstairs.
Had too much to drink?
No.
No,
I'm fine.
not at all."
Okay.
She says, "Two of the guards came down. They looked the main floor and then went back upstairs."
Did they talk to anyone?
She looks over at the bartender. She goes, "Just you, right?" Asked about if anybody had stored anything else around here.
Okay, so those are the only two guards that left.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna run upstairs.
Okay.
You are all relieved of duty. Thank you very much for your time and your service. You can talk to the constable, and he will. Yeah.
Make another persuasion test.
Oh yeah, because they haven't actually been there yet.
Nope.
Gotta
Advantage?
think these things through,
maybe?
sir.
No, this one's straight up. Okay. Oh, dang it. Wrong chat window.
God, the rolls have been bad.
You're just
boy,
taking Amir's rolls tonight since he's not there.
Yeah,
They
I'm not
want
rolling.
to. Yeah, so she's not rolling much. You argue for a good solid minute, and by the time it's all done, they're thanking you profusely for letting them get the hell out of here.
First, every single one of you empty your pockets right now.
Well, by now you've convinced them that you're the Lord of Hawkok and the Lord of Farvale and all that, and they're like freaked out and like they turn them out. They really don't have much of anything.
No gems or anything?
No.
Okay, thank you. You can all leave.
They head out. All right. So you guys come traipsing in the bar, in the Streamview Tavern, as these guards are all double timing it out of the building. They pass you without even looking at you.
Seems Leonin did in fact come back to the
super
inn.
paranoid, by the way.
I'm not in a rush or a hurry or anything. I'm just gonna walk upstairs and I will join Leonin in the room.
Okay. Yeah, you're surveying. It looks like everything is still there, from what you can tell.
Oh, that's already what I was checking, by the way.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, you
Amir,
never
when you
saw it to
walk,
begin with, so you wouldn't know.
yeah, but he kind of generally knew what was what, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, you guys look through the stuff. It looks like everything is still there.
Good.
And actually, the ring I think you've got on your body, right? You got it like.
Oh yeah, I have it in my pouch, and I had some thieves' tools in my pouch as well that he didn't think to take
No.
because I was so I was so nice to go with him. So if Lenin had not been able to spring us, I probably would have got the hell out of there.
It's a good thing we didn't fight those guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were just doing their job.
They were, and that's why I thanked him. You know, I understand that, but there's a line you don't cross, and
Right.
you crossed it. I had to swing the big stick a little bit. It's the first time I've done it, but I had to.
All right. So it's evening. You know, it's later in the evening, and you're in the inn, and you see those warm beds. They look awfully inviting.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna go back to I'm gonna play a little bit at this place, play some tunes.
Mhm.
A little bit of Tenacious D.
Okay.
And then
Greatest song in the world.
Yeah. And then I'll go back to my place.
All right.
I'll actually I'll kind of converse with Kellenan for a minute. Let him know that I'm just gonna leave my share here with him for now. I feel like it'd be just as safe here. I don't feel like I can carry it, carry it home. So I'll be back to get it
Absolutely. You can
later.
trust me 100%. It'll be right here when you come back.
What I'd like to do
It
actually.
better.
Sorry.
The guy you just met today. Of course, you know you fought side by side, so you know.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you make friends in the foxhole really quickly. So
Before I play, I'd actually like to role play a little bit. First of all, I'm gonna be telling Amir what happened, and Amir and I already went over that, like what happened with the priest, what I went to the church for, looking for all that, and also tell Balner as well. And then I won't tell Grandar because it doesn't matter to him. And then I'll talk to Kellenan and say thank you for helping us today. You were a great asset. Unfortunately, you can't leave the city yet. I don't know if you were planning on it, but you're gonna have to stay here for a little while. We're always looking for more people to hang out with us, especially ones that are pretty nifty in a fight, but I kind of can't let you leave. And I'm actually gonna kind of wipe off my hand because I don't, you know. Or no, first of all I'm gonna shake his hand and say, "My name's Leon Farvale. Nice to meet you." And I'm gonna shake his hand. Unless he
Killing
doesn't
and
shake his hand.
Kilkenny. Killing and Kilkenny. And that was a pretty neat trick. You got a set of jail here. How'd you do that?
Well, when the state's named after you, it kind of helps, right?
Oh, yeah, that's all right.
I am gonna take these this dragon amulet and a few of these other things and keep them with me for safekeeping. But I'll make sure Amir knows that.
Yeah, I guess we weren't supposed to take stuff from the crypt. Maybe we should go put it back.
No, it's
Everybody's
not.
getting all pissy about it.
It's not a big deal. We're fine. We're totally fine. Don't worry about it. Me and the mayor are.
The militia though still does have the plate armor unless you took it with you when you left.
Oh, that's not that I did. I
I think we would have taken it with us. I mean,
Almost
he
like
did
a
say that he did say it was our evidence. So
True. Yeah.
But
Okay, so you got that too. You're good. You got four broken sets of plate armor, effectively.
if it's crappy, then I'll just.
Well, I mean, it just needs to be all of the soft bits. All of the batting and the leather and all those pieces all need to be fitted.
I'm gonna say I know a good blacksmith for that.
You're looking at probably, you could probably out of 4 suits of plate, probably make 2 good sets of plate for half the cost of 1 set of plate. If you know what I mean? All that stuff.
Nice.
750.
So,
Yeah, so you're looking at
yeah, they said the
spending that
mayor
much.
was. They said the mayor's forge was the best, but is he the one that had us arrested? We probably shouldn't
No,
bring
it
that
wasn't.
stuff to his
It
forge.
wasn't. It wasn't the mayor. The mayor and I are on good terms. It wasn't the mayor. It was, and then I'll proceed to tell you about the church and how we think there's a doppelganger and all that kind of stuff. Um, so it was the guy that was the priest that went to the constable because he was faking to be the priest. All that kind of fun stuff. So proceed to
Gotcha.
tell you that.
All right. Okay. Just let me know how I can help. I'll watch over this stuff tonight.
I greatly appreciate it.
So
Mhm.
you play at the at the stream view, and then eventually you and Grundar head back to Alton's Winery.
Yeah.
Okay. So Kellen and you kind of just spend the evening down at the bar listening to the music that Leonin plays, and then eventually head up.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna hang out and then get some sleep.
Okay. It draws a pretty good crowd. His playing. What's that?
Getting my tapestry.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh, and thanking the barmaid and making sure the orc's food is paid for the next week.
She tells you that's a fairly tall. He can eat quite a bit, and she says, we'll keep a tab, but she's like, I expect it'll probably cost a good solid 5 gold.
So,
I'm sure me playing here enough will easily bring that in. Don't worry about it. Well,
Sure.
I'll take care of it.
So, does anybody do anything else that night?
I mean, I'll head home. I'll get the key from the neighbor.
Mhm.
And before I go to sleep, I would like to study that ring.
I didn't mean to press that.
The house is unusually when you come into it. You're used to hearing, you're just your father kicking around in the house or out back, in his little shop. Or you at least hear the dog, wandering around. Any number of noises, but it just seems oppressively quiet tonight. You're the only living soul in this little house that you grew up in. Now, your father's left, your mother left years ago, your sister's gone. It's just you alone here.
I'm so lonely.
Right.
Don't worry, Amir.
Do you remember?
I'll be your friend.
Do you remember the sign, Gary? Yeah. So you settle down to look this thing over. I mean, as far as like physically inspecting it, you haven't really taken much time with it yet. But let's see here.
Did Balner inform me that he felt that it was evil, or
I
I
don't
will
know.
bring that up eventually in conversation.
okay? Okay, so you wouldn't have told me yet, though.
We haven't really had a chance to talk about it.
Yeah, that's true.
As soon as we get back, I would probably say, so that ring evil.
Okay, well, in that case, I'll be extra careful with it.
The face of the ring is the top of it is one large skull with a crown on it. And at first, it looks like it just has really deep black eye sockets, but when you look more carefully, there are set into the sockets deeply little black onyx stones. And then running down the side of the ring, on either side are skulls. Looking at it more carefully, worked into the edging between. I mean, this is all like really intricate and small work. Right. Worked in between the little skulls are very small runes, and they remind you visibly of the runes that you saw down in that crypt. Meaning, you think they're
Earthland.
Earthland. Yep.
Yeah. I really need to learn that language. Oh man.
It's very much a dead language.
I still need to learn it. It's coming up way too often.
Yeah.
Uh,
You can do that with downtime rules. So
yeah.
anyway, so you realize that those are there. Do you have religion?
I do not.
Okay.
I do.
Yeah, you haven't really inspected it yet, though. So that's
Alright.
really all you're able to tell visibly from you know, unless you put it on. I mean, it has a heavy weight in your hand. You don't know if it's really silver, maybe it's some other kind of metal, but it's definitely heavy. And it feels like it never like warms up. Like when you just hold something in your hand for a while, it warms up to your body temperature. It never warms up. It's just this cold presence in your palm of your hand as you hold it.
Yeah, I'm not putting that on. No.
Okay. Anything
Alright.
else you do that night?
I'll sit at my desk, write another letter, and then hit the hay.
Okay. Everybody levels up.
Yay!
Thank God. I already have the spells ready.
I do too.
Was anybody not 100% ready? Anybody need help with anything as they level up?
I actually do, but because I forgot the.
That's fine. I know that Mason was going to have Grundar roll for hit points, but I'll let him do that when he's able to rejoin us, assuming he's able to get his computer back up and running.
I know, right? Let's see.
See, proficiency bonus goes up.
Yes, it does.
That is a big one. Yep.
Yeah.
As a cleric, you'll now have access to third-level spells. That's also a big one.
Revivify, Spirit Guardians. Those
Yep.
are probably the big two from third level for clerics.
And Revivify is, as a life cleric, that's one of the bonus spells that you can cast.
Why can I not edit my proficiency bonus?
You don't.
It'll automatically do it.
It'll automatically do it if you put your new level up at the top.
Yeah, if you move it up to 5, it automatically.
Oh, there. Okay, got it.
Yep. Or
Oh, hey, I get third level spells now, which means I have to
Yeah.
drag all of those onto my. All right.
Yeah, check the player's handbook, but
and I should have gotten an extra cantrip too. On the...
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, hey, destroy undead.
Yep, that would have been useful, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but it'll be useful when we go back.
And as I said, look up the life cleric domain. You get bonus spells. You get 2 of them. One of them is Revivify. So you can, within a very short period of time, you can bring somebody back from death.
I think level 5 is when you get
in the name of Marika.
Yeah.
Oh well, yeah, of course.
Is it level 5 or 6 that clerics get the second channel divinity?
6.
Beacon of Hope and Revivify.
It's not 5 from
Six.
what I saw. I think it might be
It's
6.
It's 6.
6. Yeah. Okay, Tony, just so you know what spells, so it's not just a, surprise.
Mhm.
I'm getting rid of suggestion, and I'm switching it out with haste.
Okay.
And I will be taking the Winter's Breath. I think that's a really cool spell.
Yeah, I think so too.
Oh, just to let you know, I'm taking Major Image and Sending.
Sending, also on the cleric spell list, a very useful spell
Very
in
useful
certain
spell.
situations.
It's very useful when your father is really far away.
Oh, yeah, now you can talk directly to him. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, that's literally why I was like, that could potentially be very nice.
And I get more sorcery points, also nice.
Oh, this one's much better. I hadn't really looked at Major Image. All the characters I've played.
Oh, Major
No, well,
Image is amazing.
Yeah, none of the ones I've played have ever gotten to this level, and none of the players I've played with have ever taken it. I was like, does it do sound as well? It sure does.
Does
You can't do thundering damage or anything like that, or any sound loud enough to do it or to deafen anyone. But otherwise, I mean, it smells, sounds, yeah, but it's all combined. It's all confined within a cube. That's
Yep.
pretty nice, though. That's pretty awesome.
Lots of possibilities. Okay.
You're gonna keep it, aren't you?
Yeah. I mean, why not? I mean, it's what I've got. That and the Ring of Swimming. That's what I got. So, but I do have 42 hit points, which is pretty crazy for a sorcerer.
Holy crap.
Well, until until Grendar rolls, you have more than he does. You have more than the barbarian.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I'm at 44 at level 5.
Which is fun because I have the lowest hit dice among us. I have a good constitution, and I get the +1 every level from being a draconic sorcerer.
Hmm.
So it adds up. Also, Kellenan, this is what I will be casting on you and Grundar constantly. It's amazing.
Prepare to be hasted a lot.
Yeah.
That's cool.
More attacks, more AC. You can run farther without taking a dash action.
Am I actually going to have to roleplay out the meeting with the constable? Bringing in the mayor?
No, we don't have to at all.
Okay.
Let's see. I'm trying to think if we should continue on, wait for Mason. What do you guys want to do? I mean, this could be a good breaking point, but we could continue on. I'm fine with that.
Well, I know I have, like, lean and stuff that needs to happen. So, but I don't want to take up, like, the last 30 minutes, right? So, I'm game for whatever. I don't know, again, if... Because, okay, so I actually would like some clarification. So, today, the day that we're about to wake up to, is the scheduled arrival date of our cart, plus Howlrick, plus Lana, plus my 3 dudes, right?
All of it.
Okay.
Yep. And you're only looking at about a day before 2 days before your festivities begin.
And then Fancy Pants is supposed to come back today, the day that we're waking up to.
Well, you heard there was going to be a delay
Or
because
is
they
he
were
gonna
out
be a while?
scouting
Okay,
some area,
cool.
possibly.
Well, that does put a damper on my plans, actually. Because I need my castle for the festival.
I mean, you don't need it.
No, but I need it. I don't need it because it's not like a necessity, but it helps. Helps a lot. It's an image thing, man. It's propaganda. Literally, I've spent so when you are majoring in political science, you actually take almost an entire semester on a class about propaganda. I'm not even kidding.
Well, I believe it.
So I need my castle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I mean that's the Leonin stuff that he's got to do. Because also my other dude's there with him. My other dude is with Haurik and Lana and
Yeah, you got Orson.
Orson.
And then your other three guys that you picked up.
Hmm?
Blaze, Ben, and
Jarvis.
Jarvis.
I remember
You're gonna
one
want
of them is
paid,
Jarvis.
probably.
That's fine. We can work that out.
Why not?
Well, I mean, we can. I mean, I don't see why not. Let's kind of have to think of Grundar to do Grundar type things.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, so Balner, you typically get up early to do morning ablutions to Marika. Do you get up your typical time and go do that? Do you do it at the inn? Do you go to the
Sorry.
do you head back to your little shrine at the Church of Palor?
I do it back at the shrine so that I can receive anyone
Okay.
wanting to.
Well, unfortunately, evidently there's not a lot of folk here in Hawkok that directly pray to Marika. When you get there in the morning, you time you do not you don't really see anyone come to your shrine. Although people come in and out. At some point, the place clears out a little bit after the immediate kind of morning prayers to Palor, like the sun's arrival. And the church is set up in such a way that there are like stations in a ring. The church, the altar itself, like when you walk in through the west side, and you walk up to the altar, which is on the east side, and there's like a large round sort of, call it a mandala window, stained glass window, and the sun comes in through that, and depending on where in the season you are, it like hits the sort of stations, and so people come in, they do their prayer, and then they leave. That morning prayer ends, and you see Father Polemius sort of totter by, and he stops for a moment and gives you just kind of a polite smile and says, "Father Balner."
Father, how are you doing?
Okay, he says, although he doesn't seem as sincere as you normally see him.
So, was she properly laid to rest?
He just stares at you somewhat blankly.
She properly laid to rest. The woman's body that I brought to.
Balner,
And
I did tell you about the doppelganger.
I know.
Okay, I'm just
sure
making sure like I was just making sure that I said that.
he looks really alarmed, and he almost looks like he panics for. And he says to you, he says, "Oh dear, have I forgotten something?"
Father, I need to talk to you about something. It needs to stay between you and I.
Okay. You see also that he keeps kind of like rubbing like the side of his.
Is your head okay? Do you want me to look at that?
He says, "I've had a terrible headache since yesterday."
Well, here, let me take a look at it.
Okay.
Is there like a wound or a bump or?
No, he says, "My acolytes have already looked at it." He says, "I don't think I took a fall or anything in the night." He says, "I woke up in my bed." He goes, "But it was really late in the day yesterday." He goes, "And had a horrible headache."
Right. So, Father, here's my recommendation. Someone impersonated you yesterday at church.
His eyes kind of bug out at you. He goes, "What? What do you mean?"
Yesterday, my compatriots and a woman came to us claiming that her child had in the cemetery and asked us for help. So we came looking and we tracked the undead creature. We tracked what we thought were the children's footsteps into the crypt. And what we instead found was some undead that we took care of. And then, unfortunately, we also found the body of the woman who told us about her child.
He kind of, you see, he clearly is. He goes, "How could she have told you about the crypt? You went into the crypt and found her dead inside. That makes no sense."
Well, just bear with me here. So the other thing that happened is I brought the remains of the woman here, and I spoke to someone whom at the time I thought was you.
And he says, "But we've seen each other." He goes, "I realize we don't know each other that well, Father Balner, but we've seen each other the last few days, fairly, a couple times a
Right.
day." He goes, "And
Right.
you weren't able to, like, they sounded like me, they looked like me."
Yes. The only part that was slightly odd is they seemed to have difficulty dealing with how gruesome the body was. Whereas you, being a cleric of Palor, you're probably no stranger to battle and battle wounds and people who have been slain.
Well, he says, "True." He says, "But the body," he says, "you just described it quite mangled." He goes, "I mean, that's difficult for anyone to look at."
I understand that, but so what I recommend is you and I, when we have a conversation going forward, we will have code word to verify that we are who we say we are. Perhaps a god that we wouldn't normally talk about.
Jello.
He says, he thinks of one, and then he kind of shudders, and he says, "No, not that one." He goes, "How about Hextor?"
Sounds good. That way, if you mention Hextor and I do not respond, oh yes, Hextor, and you do this, you do in kind, we know that the person in front of us is not who we claim to be.
Okay. He seems a bit relieved. He says, "I thought I had been losing my mind yesterday." He said, "The acolytes had told me that I had been places and done things that I did not recall. And I was afraid perhaps I was sleepwalking worse, and he shudders. I mean, he's an old man, thinking he's like worried that perhaps he's, losing his grip on reality.
No. This is not you. This is not on you. But I would be sure to lock your quarters at night securely. Maybe if you have a heavy trunk of old armor that you can set in front of the door.
He says, "I'll do it, of course." He goes, "This is quite disconcerting." He goes, "If others did not verify my coming, I did not do." He says, "Then I wouldn't necessarily have believed it." He goes, "But too many people have claimed I was places yesterday that I have no recollection of."
Right. So I understand that this is disconcerting to you, and to you. We are investigating this, and we will get to the bottom of it.
He claps you on the shoulder. He says, "Father Balner," he says, "you've only been with us for a short period of time." He says, "But I appreciate your presence here at the church." He goes, "You add a pillar of strength. Thank you."
I'm happy to be here. I'm just merely doing Marika's.
He says, "I should let you know, the moment that I heard from my acolytes that I had brought in you and your companion yesterday, and that you had also brought a bundle." He says, "I went downstairs." He says, "You're welcome to go down and look if you like." He goes, "But the bundle and its contents are gone." He goes, "All that remains is a smear of blood."
Well, at least there was some trace left. Father, here's the description of the woman in case someone comes looking for her as missing.
Okay, so you describe her to him again.
Yes.
Okay. All right. He
Or at least
listens.
who I hope is him this time.
he listens carefully, recites back to you description, and you think he's got it.
And then during this conversation, I use insight to make.
To see if you really think it's him. Okay. Go ahead. You're fairly confident that this is in fact Father Police.
Oh, good. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I thank him for his time and finish up my absolutions and wait for the others to arrive to head to the crypt for our continuing adventure.
Okay. What about you, Amir? You're kind of off on your own in your. What do you do?
I think the first thing I'll do is now that I got the spells back, and I'm very curious about that ring. I'm
You're gonna cast comprehend languages again. Okay.
Yeah, I want to read what's on it.
Okay. The runes tie it directly to ancient Flanish deity called Nerul, the Reaper, the foe of all good, hater of life. And the phrasing of the, with this spell, you're able to not only comprehend what the rune individually mean, but when you place them together, what the true context is. That this ring allows someone to control the undead.
Okay.
Only a follower of can wield the ring.
It must be destroyed.
Cast it back into the fires in which it was made.
Oh man.
What we need is some hobbits and a volcano.
Fuck all that. Let's just get a giant eagle.
Skip to the end. You gotta throw it in the fire, Mr. Farvale.
That's right. All right. So yeah, that's
yeah.
what you determine, and the moment that you come to realize its true purpose, the ring just feels so much heavier.
Oh shit. I mean, we're gonna have to find some way to destroy it. It doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to exist. But I don't think I have the means to destroy it. So, for now, I'll just tuck it away in my belt pouch again,
Okay.
and I'll head off to the inn.
Okay.
To await my comrades.
All right. First thing, Leonin, what do you do when you wake? And
First things first, I'm gonna take a piss. That's the Leonin's first morning action.
Getting a little granular with the details, my friend. Maybe broader strokes would be okay.
But Grundar can get naked? Alright.
Oh God.
Grundar's allowed to get naked, but Leonin can't take a piss. Alright, I see how it is.
I would rather him take broader strokes as well.
Sexist towards half elves, huh?
You ever seen a grown dwarf naked? You look mighty fine in
You
them
like
breeches.
movies about dwarven gladiators?
All right. So yeah, what do you do once you rouse and get prepared for the day? Or is that more like noonish? Are you more like a wake up at the crack of noon?
I don't know. Leonin's pretty paranoid right now, and technically he has a meeting at 10 o'clock, which
Right.
probably just gonna kind of skip over, unless you want to role play it out, which we can. We got 10 minutes left. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, no worries.
But I'm really just gonna kind of do the same thing, and me and the mater are buddies right now, so.
So we'll skip through that. All of you have to show up for that. You learn an interesting thing. They first thing in the morning, the guard went to the crypt. They opened it up. They went all the way through it. They found the blood stains, the recent ones. They found all kinds of parts all over inside of the place. 3 guards were killed when they went down into the deepest parts of the, of the crypt by something immaterial that literally just sucked their life force from, according to Agrippa, who said he was there. They booked it the hell out of there. What they did not see was the body of the drow elf that you described.
Okay. During this meeting, I'm gonna make sure they seal it back up.
Oh yeah, they sealed it up after they got out of there. They were pretty freaked out when they lost 3 guards, and their Captain Constable Willem Thole is quite irate about it.
I'm also gonna be making sure first of all, I am gonna scold him. I'm gonna be like, first of all, this is why we don't just accept anyone's word of mouth that something, there needs to be proper evidence, there needs to be a proper trial. This can't just, you can't just accuse somebody and then this happen. Second of all, I appreciate you doing your job. And I appreciate you doing your job.
At this point, the captain or the constable looks quite uncomfortable with your scolding, and actually goes so far as to say, "But it was Lord Kierdan Weirson himself who made these allegations." He goes,
now he's not even gonna finish his sentence, and I'm gonna be like, "Thank you for that. I think we're done here," and I'm literally just gonna walk out the door.
"Okay," and that's where we end.
I wonder, is Killian still doing his ninja run through the forest, getting back to the Hog?
I can message
no.
Killian.
Well, actually, I gotta talk probably to Nate about a couple of more little details before I really decide how he's gonna move on as an NPC. I think largely what we decided, he's probably gonna take the role of ambassador.
Yeah, I think that's what we said.
I could get behind that.
Help the group with investigating as far as the elves are concerned.
Yep. All right, guys.
All right. We're not in
Good night.
jail. It's a good night.
Good night. I had fun. I enjoyed it.
Nate, you're not in jail either.
I'm not.
I really want to know what all Grundar's new axe can do. I really want to know.
You'll have to talk to Grundar about that.
Yeah, I know it boosts strength. It does some pretty crazy shit in terms of force damage. I'm assuming because it does a lot of crazy explosions.
That's pretty fancy stuff right there.
Yeah, it does some pretty fancy stuff.
Yep.
And I picked up a ring that I can't use and wouldn't want to use even if I could.
All right, guys.
Oh boy.
All right. Good
Talk
night.
again next Monday, right?
Yep.
Yep.
All right.
Signing off.
Ciao, guys.